And we are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Hey guys, welcome to the Loreverse Live podcast. It's your boy Stevie Hayes, joined by Carter. What's up, dog? How are you today?
Good. How about you?
Good, man. Living the dream, brother. Living the dream. So this is gonna be a great episode to hang out, have some fun, talk about superheroes. Dallas will be on soon. He's got I think he just got off work, so he should be on in a few minutes. But yeah, man, I'm excited to talk about what we got going on today. As you see here, we're gonna talk about some Stranger Things, some Superman, some mutants, some Dune, some Spider-Man. So let's get right into it. So first off, before we get anything, guys, please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you know when we post. So let's talk about James Gunn in regards to Supergirl first, because he did say a few things about a few characters. So we're going to start with Supergirl first, and then we'll work our way kind of down here. So let's see some comments. Bella, what's up? All right, baller Bella. So funny, dude. All right, now let me get to these quotes that James Gunn said about Supergirl. So obviously Supergirl is a movie that a lot of people are looking forward to, and a lot of people have a lot of opinions on what Supergirl is going to be. And here's what James Gunn said. He said this. He says that Supergirl doesn't follow the Woman of Tomorrow comic religiously. He says this: I love Millie Alcock in the movie. It's a space fantasy, which is like Guardians in a way, but based on the Tom King book. It doesn't follow it religiously, but it has a lot of the core of that there. So when James Gunn says something like this, does this make you think of anything in a way, or is it just like it's whatever type of situation?
It's really just whatever. Like I really love the Guardians movies so much. Like I think arguably best Trinity or trilogy to come out of the MCU. Only one I'm putting up there besides that is Captain America. But either way, I love the Guardians movies, and I said this off the rip when the trailer first came out, was that the trailer just looked like a Guardians movie again, with just different characters. And the fact that he's saying it's like kind of like a Guardians movie, I'm hoping that we get like the same type of humor as we got from the Guardians movie. And to be honest with you, I'm not upset that he's like not going by the comic book, like as he said, like religiously, like, but like he's using the core things that were in the comic book, and he's just not going detail by detail into everything that went on. And I'm perfectly fine with it. Like as long as the movie goes somewhat by the comic book and like it actually like makes sense as like what happened like in the Supergirl comic book, then I'm perfectly fine with it. There's nothing to complain about, really.
Yeah, bro. I'm also like, this doesn't shock me. And look, some people were mad, and I've learned, bro, you have to kind of filter out some of these fans, right?
Yeah.
Because, by the way, what is wild? I'm not sure if something weird's going on, but we have 522 people in our live stream right now on X. Kind of crazy.
What?
Now 560. Super weird.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah, I don't know what is going on. But look, man, when it comes to DC movies, any superhero movie, and this is like an obvious thing, right? It's not always going to be the one-to-one adaptation, right? Avengers and Infinity War and Endgame, we don't even see Adam Warlock. He plays a big story in the comic book. We all know this, common sense, right? So obviously, I was expecting that like this isn't going to be a one-to-one, but I did think, bro, that this is going to be a pretty close adaptation, like as close as you can get when it comes to a Superman movie or to a Supergirl movie. And what this says to me, bro, is that Superman, at least from what I gather from what he said, is that I think Superman is going to have a way bigger role in Supergirl than we think. Could you see a situation where Superman has a really big role in Supergirl, and maybe it's bigger than what either of us have thought? Because that's kind of what I'm thinking right now.
I mean, I could see him being in it, but I kind of like it's kind of like the same thing of like seeing like Supergirl like in Superman. Like I don't think he's going to like have like that big of a role. Like I just think it's going to be like he may like help her like at some point in the movie, like, but it's just going to be like, you know how like in like the like old like CW shows, like he always had like Green Arrow that would come in for like an episode and then would dip like by the next episode. Like it was always like it was just a very fast like in and out type thing. I think it's just going to be a very fast like in and out deal. I don't think it's going to be anything too serious. But I do think that his role is going to be somewhat important going into Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah, like I I just wonder, bro. And if Superman does have a bigger role, it does go with the idea that that James Gunn Superman is like just showing us a different vibe of like what Superman is going to be. You know what I mean? Or of what the DCU is, how is possibly not going to be like these little stupid cameos, but he might have an actual role. And even if he does it, something is going to be changing, and I just don't know what that is. Are we going to get more of a focus on Supergirl, like in a different way? Like I just need to know how they're going to set up all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of my question. If it's not adapting the comic book, is this going to be more of a movie with emotional beats, or is this going to be more action? Is the villain going to be different? Because even with Superman, right? Like everyone was saying, oh, like this is basically going to be All-Star Superman, but it wasn't. Like the Superman movie wasn't All-Star Superman at all. So what kind of way, like what kind of ways are we going to go? Does the movie start with Kara on Earth with Superman fighting against some crazy villain, and then she leaves? Like the way, like I understand that we saw the trailer, but I believe that this movie gives off a little bit more than what we've seen, which will be a good thing because I think the trailer sucks. You know what I mean? So I would like a situation where like where we get a better like where the movie has a lot more to it, because I really do think, and Thursday, guys, just so you know, for all the fans, my friend Cola is going to be jumping on Thursday, and Dallas, your background noise is crazy, and we are going to be doing a episode where we are basically predicting what we think all of the projects are going to do, best and worst case scenario. Supergirl has to deliver, bro. If Supergirl doesn't deliver, it's going to be bad. You know what I mean? And I still think, and I think that the linchpin for 2026 is Lanterns. I think if Lanterns just blows up, I think that changes. I think the DCU is on a big trajectory. And I was watching the Den of Nerds earlier, and hold on one second, Dallas. Reduce your background noise. That should be better. But what the Den of Nerds said was, he said that like, imagine if Lanterns just goes crazy, right? And then imagine if Netflix puts like $150 million into that. That would be crazy. You know what I mean? 150 mil into Lanterns. Bro, it's gonna be a darn near movie.
Literally.
So like that's the potential of what the success of a show like that can be. And I think Supergirl has the potential to be profitable, but I'm not sure if it's going to be like the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know what I'm saying? And those are the questions I have in regards to Supergirl and its and like what the success rate is going to be. Like do you think that this movie is going to be like mega successful?
I mean, I think it's going to be like, I would say like just as good as, I don't know, like a mid-level MCU movie. Like I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. I think Lanterns is going to be the best thing that comes out.
Did you just say MCU?
Yes.
DCU movie, you mean?
I know, but I was like comparing it to like it's going to do as good as like a mid-level MCU movie.
Okay.
But like Lanterns is going to be the best thing to come out though.
Yeah.
But I also have another theory about this, about the Supergirl movie with Superman in it. Is just the fact that I low-key feel like they may be trying to pull like kind of like a Thor Ragnarok type vibe. And remember how after Thor, at the end of Thor Ragnarok, they were, I forget what planet they were on, but that's when Thanos showed up. So I'm wondering if for Superman, at the end of Supergirl, they show in the post-credit scene, Superman ended up finding Brainiac, and then that's how Superman finds out about Brainiac and everything. And then we get to Man of Tomorrow, and then he comes back, and it's going to be Superman has to ask for Lex's help against Brainiac.
Yeah, I mean, there is honestly a possible situation, right, where like there is a possible situation where Brainiac, where they're like, let me rephrase. I could see them connecting Brainiac to Supergirl's lore very easily. You know what I mean? Like because we all know that Supergirl's planet is destroyed and she's upset. They could easily like do something where like maybe Brainiac maybe sped up the demise of her planet. I'm not sure, but something could have happened there. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Hey Dallas. So we were talking about Supergirl, and basically what we talked about was how James Gunn said that Supergirl isn't going to be a direct adaptation of the story that they're using, and some fans were crying about it. Some fans were. I was just going to ask, how do you feel about that, or do you not care? Is it just like as long as the story's good and as long it and as long as it connects to the DCU, like I don't care. Like, how do you feel about all that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I kind of it's for me. It's just say, hey, yeah, as long as the story's good, that's all that matters. Like you make the point that like Supergirl is going to be their proving ground, so to speak, and I agree with that. Like, if this movie flops, then I mean, there's a lot of things that they're going to have to take off the table when it comes to like the DCU and that going forward. And so, I think this movie, I think it's going to show Gunn where he needs to go and what direction he needs to take. I think MCU had their own little phase where they were trying to explore things and do some different, show some different faces, and they saw that didn't work. So I think this is going to be that's going to be this is going to be that movie for Gunn where it's like, okay, maybe let's not do this again. And it's good that the DCU is getting this out early, getting this out of the way early, other than better than later, which is the problem that the MCU faced.
I mean, honestly, bro, I felt like it was a dumb decision for the DCU to do a Supergirl this quick. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was dumb because my thought was like, hey, get the Trinity out first. You know, like give me Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, possibly the Flash and Green Lantern or Aquaman. Not Aquaman. And then we work into a Justice League, and then I felt like after time you then introduce the sidekicks, because to me what makes DC better than Marvel, bro, is that they have the sidekicks that can hold it down. The issue with the MCU was obviously, they fell into politics and all that crap. But the other big part is that they just don't have, like, they didn't have the right characters. Like the MCU had who? Echo, bro. You know what I mean? Echo, Show, Ironheart, like characters that a lot of people don't like. But bro, DC, bro, you have Nightwing, you got Robin, you got Beast Boy. I mean, you got Raven. I mean, bro, there's a lot of good side characters. Donna Troy, Hawk and Dove. Like, there's really good side characters that they could use to push the DCU forward. It just really shocks me, bro, that this is what that this is what they're going with. But I'm not going to hold on to it. I've let it go already, But if Supergirl does bomb, which and I saw an article. I'm not sure if this is copium / damage control from DC or if it's just the truth. They said that Supergirl was a really cheap movie to make, which is good because if it does bomb, they're not going to lose a lot of money. You know what I mean? So we'll just have to see what happens. But if this movie does bad, then it does drive that point where we're going to go on this pod and say, why would you start your universe with a Supergirl movie? You know what I mean? And also, I think the way that Supergirl wins is if you don't do what you did with Peacemaker, where in Peacemaker season 2, a lot of Peacemaker was just dedicated to pushing the story forward and then just a lot of random dead space.
Yeah. I mean, because I mean, like we literally, like we talked about it last week, like Peacemaker season 2 was trash. Like the thing is that like you hype it all up just for it to be bad.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that they don't go full on like MCU marketing or even Peacemaker marketing just for this movie to be bad. Like,
yeah.
The thing is that if I'm not gonna lie, I don't have expectations for this movie. Like, it's Supergirl. No one wanted a Supergirl movie. The only person that wanted a Supergirl movie on this earth was James Gunn and James Gunn alone. I don't even think the guy that wrote the movie wanted a Supergirl movie. Like, the thing is that like if you don't, they give a Supergirl movie, okay, we just gotta take it at this point. But like at the same time, like I don't have any expectations. There's nothing to expect out of this movie besides maybe a good movie, especially since he's saying that it's like a Guardians type movie. I'm hoping just for some good humor and just like Dallas said, a good story. I could be honest, you could really care less about the character. Like my main focus in this movie is Lobo. And if Lobo is good, I'm perfectly content.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, as I said, I think it's an unwarranted risk that you're taking because you can easily just throw out a Batman, and even if you don't want to do Batman, throw out like even make a crazy Green Lantern movie with Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler. Like those things to me would be the smarter idea, but it's whatever.
Y'all focus on this movie.
Happens.
Y'all focused on this movie. Like I could care less about the Supergirl movie. The biggest crime is the Clayface movie.
That is
You're
the
not
biggest
wrong.
crime. You're not wrong, bro. That is crash out.
Why are we even talking about
that's
this?
crash out
We
worthy.
got Clayface. Like,
Because no one cares about Clayface.
Yeah, and that's honestly
that's the
crash out
problem.
worthy. It's crash out worthy, and the only way that they get away with this is if Batman's in it. And Batman, you will be stupid to not put Batman in this movie, right?
I literally, if you put Batman in this movie, I am literally going to be so upset with DC. I'm going to be so upset.
I'll be happy because they'll be dumb not to put him in because I'm not going to see it. And you swear I'm going. I promise you I'm not going to see it if Batman's not in it.
Bro, no. The problem I have with Batman being in it is that Batman is the #1 character in all of DC. Why are you putting him in someone else's movie to introduce him into your universe? It makes zero sense.
They put Spider-Man in Civil War.
I don't care.
And it worked.
I don't care though.
They put Black Panther in Civil War and it worked.
It's Batman. Like
I hear you. I know. I mean, I totally understand. I would when James Gunn said Brave and the Bold with Robin, I was sold on the DCU at that very moment. I was legit glazing James Gunn. Like legit glazing.
Guys,
And
you're missing the point. Batman's gonna be in this next movie with prep time.
Yo, that prep time stuff really pisses me off, bro. That is everyone's like scapegoat. Oh my gosh, Batman with prep time. The same thing with Ghost Rider in the penance stare. Ghost Rider is a one-trick pony character. I can't stand him. Topic for another day.
Sensory
Brendan
character.
and I, yeah. Me and Brendan were arguing about him the other or like earlier. I said, bro, Ghost Rider sucks. You keep sending me Ghost Rider news. We're not going to cover it on the show. He sucks as a character. But anyways, yeah, man, Clayface is more of a crime. But if you put Batman in it, bro, the movie does half a billion easily. Like I'm telling you. Or if it's a sizable role for like if he's in it for a lot of time, the movie makes $500 million, bro. Batman is just that would be insane. And if Batman, you said what?
I said the part that's scaring me is that the more and more you talk about it, the more and more I feel like Batman's actually going to be in that movie.
Oh, 100%. There's no. I'm telling you, bro. They would be dumb if they. I'm telling you, bro. You would be an idiot to not put Batman in this movie. I mean, you would be a true idiot. I don't matter how cheap this movie is. You don't put Batman in this, you're stupid. Actually. Now, let's get to what James Gunn said about Man of Tomorrow. He spoke about it as well. So he said that he described this movie as being about a relationship between Clark Kent and Lex Luthor at its core. He noted that he personally relates to both Lex's ambition and obsession and Superman's belief in people and Midwestern values. He also said that he is currently on the third major rewrite of the script. He also talked about that filming begins in April of this year, and he also characterized this sequel as a weird personal film, and that this will feel significantly different from the Superman movie. Now, I do have a theory about Superman 2. And what I believe is happening is I believe they are going to make Lex Luthor probably the most powerful DC character of all time, or at least that we have seen to screen to date. I believe that Brainiac and Lex Luthor are going to merge into one, and this movie is going to lead them right into a Justice League film. That's what I think is happening.
So you think that they're going to go against the whole rumor that it's Lex and Superman working together?
I believe that they will work together. So look, Brainiac is a galactic threat. He's scary. He's insane. He's crazy. Really cool character. I think that Superman and Lex are going to have to work together. They have to, right, to solve this, Brainiac issue. But the way that Lex Luthor is, right, he's very Loki like. Even if he's helping you, he has his own side plan, and it will be Lex Luthor-esque to try to build some type of situation where he either can control Brainiac for himself or he can harness the power for himself. And this builds a perfect situation. So if they are casting a Wonder Woman, if Batman is potentially going to be in this, or the Flash, if if Aaron Pierre's Green Lantern is possibly going to pop in. Supergirl is going to be in this movie, apparently. If you have all of these heroes, it will only make it right to have some side problem going on where Lex is secretly trying to merge himself with Brainiac or try to take control of him, which leads into him and Brainiac, merging into one thing. And I think that will be fire because if you guys don't know, watch the Just League animated show. They have that in there, and the Flash kind of crashes out and beats him in the most insane way. But that's where I think the story is going. I think James Gunn is really going for it in Man of Tomorrow. And I think that Man of Tomorrow is going to, if Man of Tomorrow does what I think it's going to do, it's going to be the start of the legendary run that the DCU is going to go on. Like this year for me, like the way I feel for the DCU is like for example, 2025 for the MCU was a mid-level year, right? Movie-wise, Thunderbolts, not the best team, but movie was good. Fantastic Four, highly most anticipated movie. And what was the third film we got?
Captain America.
You know what I mean, that's what I feel this year is going to be for the DCU. And I think next year, Man of Tomorrow is that. Hopefully, Man of Tomorrow is that movie that sets this legendary run into motion. It should. If you're introducing Wonder Woman and Batman and all these possible characters.
So do you think it's going to be like a World's Finest type deal, like with Lex, but instead of Lex and Joker, it's going to be Lex and Brainiac?
No. I'm not World's Finest. I just think that it makes perfect sense with Lex Luthor's character in the DCU that he's quote unquote helping Superman, but the epitome of who Lex is as a character, right, is that Lex is jealous and hates Superman because Lex was looked at as the future. He was looked at as the guy that the world looked to. And when Superman came to Earth, those things changed. And I think that if you can't beat it, join it. And it's very Lex Luthor to try to control Brainiac, but Brainiac is so powerful that they end up merging into one. And instead of him trying to work with Superman to beat him, that just you can Lex Luthor could just agree to that to get out of jail. You know what I mean? But then there's always going to be some underlying plan with Lex Luthor. That's the crutch, or that's the epitome of smart characters, right? What did Tony Stark say in Iron Man 3? He said that is the thing about us nerds. We know how to cover our ASS, and then he shot the guy in the face. That's what smart people do in movies when it comes to superheroes. So yeah. That's my theory for Superman 2. We'll have to see what happens. Let's see what's up. We got played. We do facts. Loreverse, do you see my comment I sent you? Was it this one? What is your thoughts on the grifters taking this way out of proportion on what James Gunn said? Okay, so I think that there's always going to be fans that take James Gunn out of context. There's people that genuinely don't like him. I've seen him go back and forth with other creators, so that's just how it is. I'm going to be honest. I am not the biggest fan of how James Gunn is always yapping on social media. And that's what, I'm more of a Kevin Feige guy. Feige isn't really out here yapping. He just shows what he's trying to do, and then it just gets done, and sometimes good, sometimes bad, just all depends. But, when James Gunn does as much talking as he does, bro, this is just what comes with it, And when you open up your time to respond to some of these things, people are just going to keep doing it to get views. And that's all this is, bro. A lot of people either don't care about the DCU at all. They either don't like Gunn or they overly glaze. I'm kind of in the middle. Sometimes James Gunn pisses me off. Sometimes I love him, and that's kind of where I'm at, I'm just honest. It's really a case by case situation with James Gunn. I think he seems cool as a person, I don't know him, but he seems cool. But some of his decisions are good, some of his decisions are bad. I feel the same way about the MCU, but with Kevin Feige, that's Poppy. So I glaze a little bit more because look what he did with the prime of the MCU. So yeah, that's how I feel, man. People are always going to grift and go with the flow or whatever of what gets more views. But over here, we keep it very honest. And as I said, we can talk all we want, but the true test is Supergirl, Lanterns, and and seeing what the quality is going to be, and that's where I think the true test lies. Danny, do any of y'all have an answer to that or no? Did y'all want to talk about that? No.
I mean, this is just it's social media and it's media. I mean, everything's gonna be everything. Eventually, everybody's gonna take it out of proportion.
Exactly. I mean,
you gotta expect that.
You know, should have saw the comments when we put up the Stranger Things clips. People were crashing out. You know what I mean? Like, it's just people love to cry. It's just, and look, I like it. Like look, someone crashed out on me earlier because I pronounced what's her name, Shang-Chi, and I was calling him Shang-Chi. And they were like, and he said something like, "This is my hood language" or something. And I was like, I thought it was funny. You know what I mean? Like, he could, no, because his name is Shang-Chi, but I was saying Shang-Chi. He was like, "You in this ghetto language, you probably learned this in the hood." And I was like, "Oh, little do you know, I'm a suburban baby." But yeah, so just funny. My hope is we see Batman and Robin in the post-credit scene of Superman. I hope that Batman's a part of the movie, bro. James Gunn's true test is Batman and Robin. He messes that up. The DC was over. See, I don't think Batman and Robin is a hard movie to land, bro. I don't. Like, that's why when James Gunn says like, "Oh, we are trying to get the script together," Batman and Robin shouldn't be that hard. The same way, I don't think that Spider-Man is hard. Spider-Man shouldn't be a hard character to land. Shouldn't be.
Yeah,
hot take.
like,
Spider-Man 4 is going to be the greatest Spider-Man film of all time.
100%.
I actually disagree.
What? On what?
I think Spider-Man is a harder film to land.
Tell me why.
Just because they're like, not many heroes have the level of just depth that Spider-Man has.
You say gaps?
And like depth.
Depth? Okay.
And you have to fully capture what it truly means to be a Spider-Man in every single film. That's why certain Spider-Man films just didn't do very well. It's because you have to fully capture the true sacrifice that comes with being Spider-Man. But that comes with every single movie. If not, then it's not really Spider-Man.
See, I don't think it's that hard because you have the blueprint, which is the comics, you know what I mean? Where there's multiple stories where he does sacrifice it. It's just up to the actor to be able to portray it. Like, I don't think Andrew Garfield portrayed it well. He was just a crybaby. Bro kept dumping Gwen every 2 minutes, bro. You know what I mean?
L take. Super bad take.
W take. But yeah, I don't think Spider-Man is a hard character to land. You have a whole blueprint. Same thing with Batman. You have a whole entire blueprint with Batman. You know, Nolan, the lore killer, you know, did his own thing. But like, there's so much lore to dig into in regards to Batman, you know. So yeah, it is.
Andrew Garfield was the best Spider-Man, was the best actor for Spider-Man out of all of them. He was the best actor. He just had a badly written Spider-Man, but he was the best actor out of every single one. And that's not even it's not even a question.
So you're saying he's a better actor? Well, Toby's a bad actor. We know that already. Yeah, but you think that he's a better actor than Tom Holland?
Oh, heck yeah.
You're probably right.
It's not even close.
You're probably right. You are probably right. After Odyssey, I might have a reservation about that, but we'll have to see what happens in the Odyssey.
Oh, Tom Holland's a good actor, but for when it comes to like the being an actor for Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield was the best actor for Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I think Spider-Man 4 puts all this to rest. Like, I really think, like, bro, like, I think Spider-Man 4 is going to be like a top 3 MCU solo film of all time. Like, I think this movie is going to be like one of the best movies that we've ever seen in superhero movie history. Like, I'm being so serious.
Gotta be pleased. Hasn't even seen it yet.
It's a hot take. Yes, I saw the trailer. But bro, it's a hot take. It's a hot take. So look, sometimes you got to throw yourself out there and make a prediction. Because then if I'm right, you can glaze me, you know, and call me the GOAT and call me your spiritual father. All right, let's see.
Trying to prophesy on the MCU.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've been doing it since Civil War, baby. All right, Spider-Man is easier to land because he's one character versus Batman, who has multiple side characters who are way more important than Spidey. Yeah, and Hunger Money, that's a great point. Batman is easy to land, but Damian, Dick Grayson, those are gonna be harder characters to land. Well, I don't think even Dick Grayson's hard to land because he's super optimistic, but you know, whatever.
Especially Damian as a child actor.
That's going to be definitely hard to land.
Yeah, child actors suck, man. At least some of the ones that come in, we've been. Whew. Andrew Garfield had the most potential. I agree, 100%. Andrew is easily a better actor than Tom, no question. For now, Tom Holland doesn't even have Uncle Ben, so he will never be the best Spider-Man. Oh, here we go. Hey, bro, he had a suitcase that said BP though, and Far From Home. Just putting that out there, bro. Like, which sacrifice was more sad, y'all? Aunt May dying in No Way Home or Uncle Ben in TASM 1?
Well, Aunt May, because we had movies leading up to it.
Obviously, Aunt May. Like, have you seen?
All right, relax.
We lost a genuine gold mine. Like, are you kidding me?
That's an L take. I think Uncle Ben dying in TASM 1, dude, I cried as a kid when I first watched that. And mind you, I've seen Uncle Ben die like 10 times.
Terrible take. It was Aunt May, bro. We lost everything when we lost Aunt May. The
movie
doesn't matter without Aunt May.
Well, I'm not saying it for the same reason he's saying it, but we 100%. It was 100% Aunt May because of the fact that we had multiple movies with her, and Uncle Ben we only had one, and everyone knew Uncle Ben would like die.
But if I'm being serious, Uncle Ben was definitely the worst loss. If I'm being serious, Uncle Ben was worse. I agree with you.
It was the worst. But like, and I'm talking about like in movie form, like, cause like Aunt May death was so whack, like the way it hit her, it looked like she just got hit, and then all of a sudden there's blood. I was like, come on, bro.
Hold on. I don't know why. I just thought about this. Remember in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man in Spider-Man 1 when Green Goblin tried to bomb her house?
Yeah, he pulled up on her and scared her, and she had like a heart attack. I do remember that.
And she was in the middle of praying.
Dude, Aunt May was old in that, bro. Like legit, like, bro, like old. Nah, bro, remember in Spider-Man 1 when Norman Osborn was like trying to eat food, and then she smacked his hand, and he's about to tag her. I was done, yo. He said, bro was hot. Yeah, nah. Defoe, dude. I'm hungry right now, dude. I want Popeyes. I'm not gonna order it though. It don't matter if Aunt May died or not. Uncle Ben is the reason why Spider-Man exists. There is no Spidey without Ben. That's like removing Bruce Wayne's parents. True, but remember, bro, it's the multiversal saga.
He's not wrong, no.
He might be wrong because the MCU has done it perfectly and no one cared. Big Vex, yo, get out of here, bro. All right. Next topic, we're going to talk about MJ in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So we heard some stuff about so look, Spider-Man 4, as I said, I think it's going to be the best Spider-Man movie of all time, et cetera, et cetera. Now, there was a rumor that's been swirling around that got a lot of people excited, and it's that it said so the first report was a Star Wars actor has reportedly been cast as MJ's new boyfriend, and then it said the rumor is Eman Esfandi has been cast as MJ's new boyfriend in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, if you don't know who this guy is, he played one of my most favorite characters of all time, Ezra Bridger. Okay, and so that's pretty cool. And so a lot of people thought he was going to play Harry Osborn. I was like, there's no way this dude is playing Harry Osborn. And so the character I think he's going to play is Paul Rabin. So just to give a quick TODR of all this. So if you don't know who Paul Rabin is, he is from the comics. And so when it comes to Spider-Man comic book readers, right, everybody just wants Spider-Man and MJ together. People will like Gwen Stacy slide. By the way, Gwen Stacy and Spider-Man Torn. Yo, MJ and Spider-Man Torn is like levels above Gwen. Gwen is actually annoying in that comic book, by the way, bro. Like she's
Spider-Man Torn.
Well, yeah, she drives me nuts, bro. Like
she is, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like in the, I think it was in the last one that in the last issue just came out, bro. Yeah. She was mad annoying, bro. Why she have to do that to him? She has to do that to Peter.
Also, why is MJ so freaked out? She was like, "When you touch me, mean it." I'm like, "All right, relax." Do you know what I'm talking about? Shorty is freaked out, bro. I'm like, "All right, MJ, relax, bro. I'm a pastor now. Calm down." I'm like, but anyway, so let me just tell you guys who Paul Rabin is. So he was introduced in 2022, and he became like a controversial figure because people were pissed off that Peter and Mary Jane were separated. So he is from Earth 23321, and he's the son of Benjamin Rabin, who is a villain known as the Emissary. So what happened was Peter and Mary Jane were trapped in Paul's dimension. And after Peter was forced to return to 616 alone, MJ spent basically 4 years with Paul. And during this time, they raised 2 kids and they formed this romantic bond. Now, it gets crazy because the children were like later revealed to be fake and all that stuff. But and if this is true, this feeds a theory, guys, that I had about Spider-Man before. And the theory that I had about Spider-Man Brand New Day is that Spider-Man 4 is happening in a branch timeline and in a timeline that is kind of going on its own. He's not in our MCU timeline. And my theory is that when Doctor Strange reset everything changed. And so hopefully that's true. But I want to know, what do you guys think about MJ having a new man and kind of like where that's going to put Peter Parker as a character, and some other ideas if you have them?
I will say, like, for a second, when I heard that she was going to have a new boyfriend, I thought either Harry Osborn or I thought Eddie Brock could possibly be. Because I remember at the beginning when it was first filming, people were talking about possibly like the symbiote being in it and stuff like that. But who knows if that's true, to be honest with you. But like, to go off like your original question, like, I mean, I think if anything, her having a new boyfriend is going to mean a lot more than what people think, because it's going to truly show that, yeah, Spider-Man may win. Granted, we don't know how this movie's going to work out, but like Spider-Man may win, but like Peter never does. So like the girl that he wanted throughout all 3 movies, now he can't have, and now she has a whole new boyfriend, which, let's be real, I mean, if she is going to act like MJ, she's probably going to end up leaving him at some point, because that's not her true love. But like at the same time, like, I think it's definitely going to do a number on Peter, and I think it's going to help a lot, because it's going to have him have to like be able to control his emotions as Peter Parker, even though he is Spider-Man too.
True. How about you, Dallas?
Look, if he spends this entire movie pining over Zendaya, bro, I don't really care. I don't want to see that, bro. That's so boring. Like, I could just listen to a Giveon song, and I can hear all the pining that I need in my life. I don't need to see it on screen. Okay, I get that it's supposed to show like this internal struggle and all that, but I don't want to just see a movie where he's just pining over, like, and like being jealous. Like, I hope they keep it in its place, keep it in check. They don't make it the entire movie.
Fair.
And if the boyfriend's not important to the plot, then there's no reason to harp on him.
Yep. And the question is, right, who is Peter going to be with? Like, are they going to introduce, and it seems like, Sadie Sink isn't playing MJ or Gwen Stacy. I would still like Peter to have some type of chick. If it's a Gwen Stacy, something like that, I think that would be cool. But, I would have liked Harry Osborn, though, not going to lie. But, if it is this guy, then I think they're trying to feed that possible plot of like, yeah, this isn't happening in our prime MCU timeline. This is another character. And Dallas, I mean, from the trailer that we saw, if that's real, dude, Spider-Man's going to be busy, bro. Because there's another character that is going to be in this rumored, and his name is Ramrod. He is a side bad guy. And I think that like they're going to show us like Spider-Man just beating a bunch of villains. And I have this thought where like Spider-Man, like I think Spider-Man 4 is going to be like what the Batman was. So do you guys know how like in the Batman 1, he was just obsessed with like being Batman? All he did, that's all he like cares about in the movie. I feel like Spider-Man might be going into that similar situation where like he lost everything, so he's just heroing out 24/7. And I wouldn't mind a Spider-Man movie where he's in the mask for like 90% of the film, because we got a lot of Peter Parker in No Way Home and in Far From Home and in Homecoming. I'm ready for a movie where we get like just 90% Spider-Man.
Straight action, like straight business.
If we get to see him like actually throw down, like we haven't yet gotten to see him throw down. Even within the fight against Thanos, it didn't look like he was really letting loose. Like,
no,
I need him to beat somebody within an inch of their life and like realize that, oh wait, like I can beat somebody within an inch of their life.
And that's what. Yeah, and that's what made. And look, in the trailer we saw, he's fighting against ninjas. So, if that's the case, bro. And also like the hope and the great hope is, right? I mean, Jackie Chan's stunt team is the the main team that's done all of the stunts or led all of the stunts for Spider-Man. So I think the fighting is going to be amazing. Not to mention this, the guy that directed Shang-Chi, and Shang-Chi's a phenomenal movie. By the way, Simon Liu is low-key annoying as a person, but I believe that's some of the I'm like, this guy is so annoying.
Yes.
My goodness. But yeah, man, I am really excited to see what they're going to do with Spider-Man. And I think this trailer is going to break the internet, bro. The MCU is going to have a crazy year, man. Next year's going to be a crazy year for Marvel. Or this year's going to be a crazy year for Marvel. All right, let's read some chats here. I don't care that MJ has a new boyfriend because overrated Zendaya isn't even the real MJ. Ways to
don't you talk about Zendaya like that?
Oh, wasn't you just hating on her?
Don't you watch your mouth?
Ways to make Tom Holland the best Spider-Man. Number one, mention Uncle Ben. Oh my gosh. Number two, retcon side characters. Michelle Jones' birth name is Mary Jane. Harry is his BFF, etc. 3, Goblin and Doc Ock. Dude, I really believe Norman and Harry will be in this movie. I hope we see it, bro. I hope we see it. Simon Liu is so annoying. It is annoying. It's not even funny. Way too cocky and not in a good way. Like RDJ and Chadwick. Yeah, bro. Simon Liu, bro. He's a yapper, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. He is annoying.
Dude, all he talks about, everything that he just hates on like every other project except for, bro, he hates on every other project for some odd reason. It's always something political with him. I can't stand the dude.
Yeah. And
he has been yapping too much recently.
Yeah. And then out of nowhere, it's like, oh, Shang-Chi 2 is Shang-Chi 2 is in the works. No, it's not, because Destin's working on Spider-Man, bro. And honestly, I don't think he's going back to Shang-Chi after Spider-Man. But they're probably going to get another director to do it. By the way, please don't get Chloe Zhao to direct that movie, please, bro. Oh my goodness, the glaze of her is crazy too. Like, she's a good director, but come on, man, keep her out of Marvel, dog, please. Anyways, all right. Now we have to take a quick detour because some news came out in regards to the Batman 2. Now we already knew, and I just threw this in just now, guys. We already knew that Scarlett Johansson was in talks to join the cast of the Batman 2. We already talked about this, but today, like right a couple hours before we got on the show, news dropped that Marvel actor Sebastian Stan is in talks to join the cast of the Batman 2. So what we're going to do is first we're going to talk about what your initial take is with no research, and then we're going to talk about what some research says. So I'll go first without any research, because I did a TikTok on this. I was like, so they're doing Hush. That was my thing. I was like, okay, this has to be Hush. There's no way he's playing any other character. And I hope, like, you guys know, I don't want to see Harvey Dent. I really don't care about him. We've seen him before. I would love for Sebastian Stan to play Hush in the Batman 2. What do you guys think about Sebastian Stan joining the Batman 2?
I mean, I think it's going to be good. The only thing is, like, they're just basically, I mean, there's only two people, but, like, we're just moving people from the MCU over to DC, or over to DC. I mean, I say DCU, but just to DC. Like, I mean, I'm kind of starting to get on the same page with Dallas here, where he's just like, we're just reusing the same people. Like, I would love someone new. Granted, I know Sebastian Stan like has well, he was Winter Soldier, he was Bucky in the MCU, so like he has something to back up. Like, he has a resume to back himself up that we know that he's good in like a superhero like movie, and especially as a villain, because Winter Soldier arguably probably is the best MCU movie to ever come out. But like, we know that he can play well as like a villain role, but I'm just curious as to who he's going to be. Like, I agree with you earlier when we were talking about it and you said Hush. I was like, oh, that would be really good. I was like, he could play Hush very well, probably. But at the same time, I also said I don't want to see Two-Face in it, but with him and Scarlett Johansson in it, I can see Two-Face being in it.
I'm so tired of seeing these same old recycled actors. It's like I'm digging in like the Goodwill bins, and I'm trying to find something like, oh look, I'm here. Oh look, oh. If I wash it and clean it enough and redo it a little bit, it's a perfectly good piece. And here I have yet another MCU actor coming over to DC, and it's just like, you can't tell me there's like, dude, all these homeless wannabe actors that are walking the streets of Hollywood, you can't tell me there's some new actor that they can pick up to play a role. Like, you can't convince me. So many people go to Hollywood, try to spend their life going to Hollywood and want to be the next big thing. But nobody's getting any shots because they keep on recycling all these people. It's very frustrating. Like, I get Sebastian Stan, decent actor, right? He fits Gotham City. Like, he fits it. Like, his acting style, the unease, the ticks that he shows. He doesn't show very big emotional range, but he does his emotion that he does display as an actor is very controlled. It's very level, right? And he often acts with his body movement and his facial movement, other than besides just like his voice and like his what comes across as his character. But just give me somebody new. Like, it's not it can't be that hard to find somebody new, right? And if he is Hush, I think that would be really cool. Oh my goodness, we need a live action Hush. That'd be amazing. But yeah, just give me somebody new. I'm so tired of seeing all these. Forget Scarlett Johansson. Give the role to somebody else. Give the role to somebody else when it comes to Sebastian Stan. Just give me something new. Give me something creative. Give me a fresh face, somebody that we can get behind, right?
What this shows me is that this is going to be a one-off movie and that the Batman is going to end after this. That's what this showed me. When you go for castings, when you cast for younger, right? You're telling the fandom that like you're going to see these characters age. All of the castings that we've seen so far have been actors in their prime, which means that he's trying to go for the big sequel. And then I don't think we're going to get a Batman 3. And I think he's trying to make the best Batman movie possible. And I think the best way he sees is by casting the best actors for the role. And that's what I think this is. I don't think we're going to see Sebastian Stan come back as Hush, if he is Hush, or Harvey Dent or whatever. I don't think we're going to see ScarJo come back. I think he's going for the big one, you know? That's kind of what this is giving. He's going for the best actors for the role, not the most potential to be the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when Heath was casted, Heath at the time was potential to be the best. No one knew that he was going to do what he did in that role, you know? No one knew that. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the way I am taking it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, look.
Yeah.
Look. I get what you're saying, where it's like, okay, this may be like the last thing. Honestly, if he does do Hush, there's not really anywhere he can lead with after that. It would be very disappointing because the Batman was a really, really good movie. And even at the end of the Batman, they teased certain things that they just scrapped. I don't think they're gonna come to fruition at all. But if this is the last thing and this is the last go around, like, I get it then if that's the case, why they're casting all these old people. It would be a bit disappointing because like we still have yet to see a seasoned Batman. A truly seasoned Batman. Or we saw a seasoned Batman, but even then the fighting style was kind of the closest we got to see to a true brutal bone-breaking Batman was Affleck, so. Yeah. And this was supposed to be a developmental Batman. We were supposed to see the growth, so it's gonna be disappointing if it's the last thing.
I'm not gonna lie. That's the Batman 1 has been aging bad for me, man. It really has, because, and I did a reaction to it. I haven't posted yet, but I did a reaction and I understand where Matt Reeves was coming from, right? So I did a reaction where I watched the first fight that he did in the movie where he just dismantles that lead Joker henchman, right? And then watching him fight against the henchman, something that you'll see is that Batman keeps getting hit, and I'm like, bro, why does Batman keep getting punched on? And I spent like an hour researching it, and here's what I found. The reason why Batman got hit was because, and Matt Reeves and his team said they wanted Batman to come off as he can eat these hits because he's invincible. Like, he's not trying to dodge. He's purposely just eating the hits. And also this fact that he only learned his fighting from Alfred, who in the Batman universe, Alfred is like this ex-MI6, guy. You know what I mean? So he just knows how to brawl. He doesn't really know how to fight yet. You know what I mean? But the only thing that the only thing that had me excited for the Batman 2 was I thought we were going to see a 3 to 5 year time jump to where Batman has better gadgets, a better car, better suit. He's way more slick. You know, he just like in the Batman one, he just kept getting beat. You know what I mean? Like even in the mind games, like Riddler just kept outsmarting him. You know what I mean? And the Joker did the same thing in Dark Knight, which is fine. What I let it go already. But what I'm thinking for the Batman 2 is like a seasoned Batman. But like I've heard that like the Batman 2 is like 2 weeks after the Batman 1. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so if that's true, there's gonna be no progress. We're gonna run into the same character. Unless if we go into, you know, just Fantasyland, like, okay, we're gonna act like he sees it now, which I doubt they're gonna do if it's true, because I heard that the Batman 2 happens like 2 weeks after the Penguin show, and the Penguin show is right after Batman 1, right after the Batman 1.
Yeah, I mean, so because my only thing against that is the fact that this is like year 2, year 1 Batman, right?
The Batman 1 was year 2, yeah.
So that means like, all right, like let's be real here, like he's not going to be what we expect him to be. Like I don't think, like, I wasn't expecting going into this like for him to be crazy good at like throwing hands with people and stuff like that. Like I wasn't expecting all that, but like I wasn't expecting him to get effective work either.
Yeah,
I disagree.
Because even year 2 Batman, he was still training before that. He'd still been training for a while.
I would have to check, but I'm pretty sure in the comics he did his training before he donned the cowl. So
that's what I'm saying. Even year 2 Batman, he's still been training.
Yeah. So like, but by the time Batman dons a cowl, he's an expert fighter because he's already mastered all of those forms of martial arts. He studied to be a detective around the world under the best detectives, under the best private and freaking investigators. So like, he should already be trained. He shouldn't be learning on the job. You know what I mean? Like, he should already be at the peak level for everything. It doesn't matter. Now, does he have, like, is he going to learn certain things and mess up? Yes. But like in the Batman 1, he looked kind of like an idiot. You know what I mean? So sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's like
I
mean,
the part where he messes up with the Spanish, El Rata, what was it? El Rata Alada instead. He didn't catch that it was supposed to be La Rata Alada. Like he was getting like, it was stupid mistakes. And then like him getting beat by a couple of goons with shotguns to like, what?
That's
like,
what I'm saying, bro. It's not Batman.
That was embarrassing.
And like, if we're being accurate, Batman's already a master martial artist, but by the time he puts on the cowl, he's already left the league. Like he trained, bro. That dude trained under Santa Claus, bro. Like he's wild, bro. Like Batman's the GOAT. So yeah,
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Batman trained under Santa Claus?
I'll send you the comic panel.
Okay. I've never heard of that in my life.
I'm for real, bro. For real. But yeah, in Hunger Mighty, we do want to see. I do want to hear your pitch. Yo, bro, just DM it over to me on Instagram and I'll read it. But yeah, man, so like, yeah, and that's the thing. And like, look, like everybody glazes the Batman, but there were clear problems where like they try to make him a little too realistic. And like, what makes Batman a legend is how he's a human who beats supernatural villains. You know what I mean? Like that's what makes Batman Batman, is that he's outsmarting gods and outsmarting powerful people. So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Because if they try to give me like the Batman 1 rewinded, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna crash out royally.
Yeah, but we're also talking about a Batman in a grounded universe. We're not talking about somebody who has to go up against these supernatural beings. Like, bro's going to get hit. Like, we're not talking about someone who like has went up against like, who has had like supernatural training. Well, let me not say supernatural, but like has been training and like would be able to keep training for years. Like keep going and keep going and keep going. He's a actual, like, he's a human in the comics, but like he's truly human, like in this universe. Like,
but that's part of the issue. He was never meant to be just that, you know? Like if you're gonna don the cowl, you're gonna come in with just military fighting skills. That's stupid. Like, and Christopher Nolan's Batman showed us how you can have a grounded, realistic Batman world and still have a League of Shadows and still have a secret society. You know what I mean? Like, if you say that, then like then the Court of Owls possibly being here is just stupid. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole point of Batman. Batman is a human character, but his world is unrealistic. That's what makes Batman so cool, It's the
Well,
fact that he's able to, and mind you, he's not, and mind you, he is superhuman. Like, he does take steroids, and he is on heavy gear and all that stuff. But
and me and you have talked about how the Court of Owls should not be in
oh,
the
100%.
Batman. Like, and that's my point. Like, these supernatural things aren't in there as it is. So I'm not expecting for bro to be able to do the things that he did in the comics in a grounded universe.
I think you
just not
should.
expecting.
Like, but and that's sad because we saw how mid Pattinson was, or not say Pattinson, how mid Batman was, like, as a character in the Batman one. But that shouldn't be the case, and that's all I'm saying. Is like, because we're gonna go into Brave and the Bold, and Batman's gonna be just cooking everybody like Captain America. Like, that's how Batman should look and fight like Captain America. Like, Captain America Winter Soldier boat scene. That's how Batman should fight, minus the super kick when he kicked that guy into the wall. Like, that's how Batman fights. That's how he moves in real life. And in that opening scene at the train station, it was so corny. He shocks a dude's neck and everybody just runs away. We barely see him beat up all of the people. It was so bad. The only good scene we got was when he beat the crap out of that guy at first. And then it's like, bruh, like, you got to be kidding me, bro. I was so pissed off. And like, I don't, yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Well, I think the Batman one, I think people misinterpret what it's supposed to be. I think they accomplished their goal when they gave us, it was a Batman movie, but it was less about Batman. It was less about his story. It was more about the feel, right? It was kind of like, this is what Gotham feels like. This is what Gotham looks like. This is what Gotham sounds like. This is how Gotham operates. So I feel like it was more of like a Gotham film than it was a Batman film.
I do disagree to an extent, but I heard you saying, like, the setting did talk for itself, and it reminded me of Dune. Like, have you guys seen Dune?
No, I haven't.
So, but when you watch Dune, and Denis Villeneuve is very talented with this. By the way, I'm so excited for him to be doing James Bond. But like, the world spoke for itself. You know what I mean? And when you see the Fremen, and just even if you see a Fremen just and all them just standing around, like, the atmosphere just speaks for itself. And Matt Reeves accomplished that. I just think that when it came to Batman, like, it just wasn't the best. And I let it slide because I was like, okay, we are going to get like a really advanced Batman, but we didn't get that. So, all right, let's see what some chats say. Batman fought a being known as Karate Kid, who knows every martial arts in the universe or multiverse, and he told Batman, I can learn a lot from you. Exactly. And that's what makes Batman great. It's just Batman adapts. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't just learn his fighting styles and stop. He keeps learning. You know what I mean? That's why he's so great. Batman is a super soldier. His feats in the comics are not physically possible for a real life or peak human. Exactly. Which is why I think realistic Batman is stupid. Unfortunately, because of the DCU Batman, you're not going to see an elite level Batman from comics in the Reeves Batman. Yeah, true. That super kick Steve did to the guy Batman can do has like, yes. And also about more for Pattinson's Batman doing the kick, not like any Batman. You could have made Batman elite and still have had that Gotham Tony. I agree. Batman could have been a freaking martial arts savant. We saw Shang-Chi do it without any power. So you could have done the same thing with freaking Batman. You know, Shang-Chi was trained by the Mandarins with no magic and no power and no rings. We saw that. Batman could have done the same thing. Okay. By the way, Destin Cretton would direct a fire Batman film. Just saying. If Destin Cretton, the guy that's directing Spider-Man, wasn't with the MCU, he would direct a fire Batman Brave and the Bold movie. All right. Now, next topic here. Marvel Studios is developing mutant-focused projects for the next saga of the MCU. So I want to ask you guys, why do you guys think that the MCU wants to focus on the mutants in the next saga, given that, you know, it seems like for phase 4, they were very confused about what they were trying to do? Why do you think that Marvel Studios wants to make the mutants like one of the main focuses of this next phase post Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars?
I just think that this is basically just one big apology to the Marvel fan base, just because, like, I mean, they had to give up like the X-Men, like, and it just like wasn't, granted, like, okay, they went bankrupt, because I'm pretty sure that's how it's happened, right? They went bankrupt and they had to give away.
Yeah, back in the day, they sold their rights. Fox had them. Obviously, when the MCU started, the MCU didn't have the X-Men or the Fantastic Four, which is why we got like Iron Man, Captain America, whatever.
Yeah, and it's like I think this is just more of like a hey, like we're sorry, like we didn't have these characters. Like I hope y'all understand this, but like going into like this like brand new like universe that we are putting together, like we are going to give you like what y'all have been asking for this whole time. Like the fact that like Kevin Feige is giving us the X-Men and Doomsday and in Secret Wars like makes it even better. Like, and then we're going straight into the next saga of the MCU, and we are going to get the X-Men with just X-Men movies. My only ask is that I hope that they are way better than the X-Men movies that we got with Fox. Because, in my opinion, Fox butchered the X-Men movies. I want a very good, like, to be honest with you, I'll be perfectly fine with a Cyclops solo movie in the next saga. I mean, granted, I know what you're going to say. You want him with the X-Men so that he can, like, lead the X-Men, like, as a leader instead of Xavier and all that stuff. But a Cyclops solo movie giving us something that we have never seen before and going through like his life beforehand and everything like that. I think that would be pretty solid. Or like maybe he's on his own like at one point. Like, I mean, we all know the MCU likes to shy away from different things and do different things and do their own things. And I think that they would be able to do a good Cyclops movie by himself.
A Cyclops solo movie would be cheeks, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. That's just terrible take.
Tripping.
But I think it's I like what Carter said where it's like an apology. I also think it's a lot simpler than that. I mean, it's because the X-Men are the best characters. I mean, they're best character arcs, best conflicts. I mean, Magneto and Professor X can feed generations. Like, Gambit, like Gambit as a character, great character. Wolverine as a character, great character. Cyclops, great character. You have all these characters that are just great solo characters. The X-Men are the best product of Marvel. Personally, that's what I feel. And just the threats that they pose, the villains. I mean, the political like playground that it comes with, it's just on another level. And I think that especially if Marvel does it right, you're gonna have like you have limitless content that you can make with the X-Men, and they have like if they do it right, we're in for like a great set of films.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't think Cyclops should have a solo movie. The Cyclops functions best with other characters. Cyclops is a really great leader, and he needs to be leading in some type of sense. I do think Cyclops, the way you use Cyclops is he has to be the lead in like team up films. Like if they do Avengers versus X-Men, like he has to be the lead. Like Cyclops with the freaking Phoenix Force, bro, like OP. But a solo Cyclops movie will be crazy. But I do think doing the mutants is the right decision. Though I view the mutants like how Green Lantern is to DC. When you involve them, you're involving like 30 to 100 freaking characters. You know what I mean? And I think that's beautiful. With the X-Men, and if you start them young, you have so many freaking stories, and like you just cannot make Scott what he was with the Fox X-Men. In the Fox X-Men, he was a simp running after Jean Grey's butt the whole entire freaking saga of movies. And all he wanted to do was fight, like get her away from Wolverine. And like there does come a point to when Wolverine like knows that, like he's never going to have her. You know what I mean? He understands that, and there might be moments where he like simps over her, but like it's not always gonna be the main plot of every single film. I hope we get to see Scott and Jean have kids. Like there's a lot of ways you can go with this, man. I mean,
you want to see that?
I want to see them have children, yeah. And then if we go to the Shire and all that, I mean, there's so much with the mutants. I mean, and then if we are talking like if they adapt House of X, and even we see something where like if you guys don't know, like Wanda, like wiped away all of the mutants. You know, like she legit just wiped them away in the comics. There's so much you can do. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with the mutants. This I wish that we could have got this after Endgame. Would have been a perfect momentum, you know, to go into. But this is the smart way to do it. You center it around the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and the X-Men, and you keep. And I think the trend that they need to stay in is the team up film trend, and that's where I think. And Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four was a testing of that, you know. And Captain America: Brave New World was kind of like a mini team up film with Falcon and him. So, and that's kind of what the MCU has been for a while. A lot of team up movies because you have a lot of characters and it's hard to do a lot of solo films. But for characters like Spider-Man, people like that, you give them their solo films. But for characters like Hawkeye, even Scarlet Witch, they're not really going to get their own movie, you know. And I think doing team up films is where the mutant saga needs to lie. So I would even like a situation where we bring the Eternals back and we get the X-Men versus the Eternals because they also have a connection as well, you know. So we'll see what happens.
X-Men versus the Eternals.
I actually do like the Eternals film. I don't think
I like the movie.
it
Yeah,
gets a lot of hate.
the movie was good. It's just the way that they framed it was absolutely terrible.
What you mean?
Okay. Oh yeah, like the world was ending and Thanos snapped away everybody. So where were you guys? Oh. It's never explained that. Like, yeah. So why didn't you help? Oh.
Well, the rule was with that like Arishem didn't allow them to interfere, and honestly, bro, they should have used the "we've been there all along" with the X-Men. It would have been way better. Because what if they were on freaking Krakoa or on their like freaking island and they just watched everything happen and like, yeah, like we saw like Thanos snap, but like we're good over here, bro.
Yeah, like dude, and the way they framed that was just like absolutely, it was so bad. Like that's the reason why people don't like it. I don't think it's because like the movie itself. I think it's just the way they framed it was just terrible.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, like we saw Thanos wipe away half of humanity, but I'm not going to intervene because a stupid big robot alien told me not to. It's like, okay, bro, whatever. Okay, now let's get to the next topic here. Some Star Wars stuff for you guys. So Dave Filoni, he is rumored to be the new president of Star Wars, and we're gonna talk about what this means for the brand. I'll start with this because I'm pretty sure out of you guys, I'm probably the most diehard Star Wars fan. And the Hunger Mighty. Oh, Hunger Mighty. I totally forgot to get to your chats, but I promise you we will after we talk about this. So, in regards to Dave Filoni, so with Star Wars has been in a terrible place, and that's just the gosh honest truth. Kathleen Kennedy has been a terrible president. Bob Iger hasn't done the best job in leading the company forward. We have a Mando and Grogu movie coming out. We don't know why does it keep going away. We don't know. We have no idea if this movie is going to be successful or not. Mando and Grogu, it seems, and apparently they took the last season, guys, and just threw it together in a movie. So it's probably going to. Hopefully, it does good in box office, but it's probably going to bomb or not do its best in some sort of way. Thanks, babe. So if Dave Filoni does take this, right? So if you guys don't know, Dave Filoni is responsible for the character Ahsoka. So he's the one that did Clone Wars. He wrote all of that with George. He trained under George, so he understands the lore. He honors the EU. He's the one that did the father, son, and mother stuff. You know what I mean? Like he's done all of that. You know, or the father, son, like in Daughter with Anakin and them going to the Mortis planet. I think Dallas, you and I have talked about that, right?
Yeah.
So like Dave Filoni is responsible for that, and he's a deep lore guy, which makes me excited because you guys know I love deep lore. This channel is called the freaking Loreverse, but I just hope that he makes real changes, you know. And obviously, he didn't say much about Kathleen Kennedy. A part of me feels like that was just because, like, I'm not going to talk trash on my boss. Like, I want to keep my job, and I hope that he comes and makes a lot of changes to Lucasfilm because isn't it crazy, y'all, that the first movie, like. Mando and Grogu is the first movie that we've had since 2018 from Lucasfilm. And I've been saying for years that they've been dodging theaters because Kathleen knew this was going to fail. And think about this, guys. The next set of movies, we have Star Wars Starfighter with Ryan Gosling, then another Rey movie. And Rey is rumored to be in Star Wars Starfighter. So the hope is that Dave Filoni can come in and make some changes and can actually give us a direction into what Star Wars is going to be. Because doing Star Wars, Starfighter, and Mando isn't going to save us. We got to figure out what's going on. So I want to ask you guys, how do you guys feel about Dave possibly being the new president, and what do you think this means for the Lucasfilm brand? Because I mean, we can all agree that Lucasfilm is kind of like in a bad spot. Like they haven't really put out anything that's good in a minute.
I'm gonna start off with this. Leave Ray at home. Yeah, I don't want to see her. I literally told you the other day, like, because you said something about watching the Star Wars movies on my birthday. Like, yeah, but we can avoid most of them. Like, leave Ray at home, please. But I do think what's it called? Dave stepping in, it would be good for Star Wars, considering the fact that, like you said, like he worked with George Lucas like for a majority of it, and like he knows everything. Like he knows like how things should go. Which I mean, we would hope so, to be honest with you. But like he did also help with like the big shows like Ahsoka and Clone Wars and stuff like that, which were pretty solid pieces of Star Wars. And I think like the creativeness of him is definitely going to help a lot moving forward for Lucasfilm, and it's going to put Lucasfilm back on the map and Star Wars back on the map as a big franchise again, even though it already is big, but like they've been at a decline recently because of how bad things have been.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, go ahead.
So I feel as if obviously Star Wars needs something new. So anybody new would be a saving grace. I don't exactly know if Dave Filoni's the route they should have taken. Dave Filoni, you mentioned he's like really deep. He has deep knowledge of the lore, but with that deep knowledge of the lore comes a bit of a trap, because the difference between MCU and the DCU is that the lore is so much easier to access. It's so much easier to get into. Star Wars lore is a cesspool of just like confusion. Like, so not that many people actually know deep Star Wars lore. Like, not even that many people know the original movies because they're so dated that not so many people watch them. So, like, if he makes films that are based off these lore, it's going to be harder for a new audience to build a new audience. And Star Wars at this point needs a new audience, that because they weren't able to build that in the past 5 years because of all the absolutely atrocious shows that they released. And Mandalorian, like as good as it was, is not an introduction for a new audience because you can't build off of that, right? Also, Filoni's known for just having a tight circle, right? And like I think that like he's known for working with like a tight-knit group of people. And with that tight-knit group of people, like there's less room, like they're all on the same board, so there's less room for like creative challenge, right? And he's known more for his shows than his movies. So it's going to be interesting to see how he handles the movie aspect of Star Wars. But it's also his character attachment. That's one of like the most interesting things about Filoni is his attachment to certain characters, most notably Ahsoka, where it's just like if he continues with this deep attachment to his characters like he has, it's gonna cause the stakes to be diluted because he won't want to get rid of them. And like one of the best Star Wars movies was Rogue One, where they practically killed everybody off, right? But the reason why is because the stakes felt like real, right? Like the stakes felt like, there was pressure. I feel like with Filoni, there's going to be a little less pressure to his films and to his movies because he's not going to want to get rid of certain characters or arcs. And also, yeah, I agree with Carter. Get rid of Rey. Like, come on, can we just honestly, what they should do is just wash the board and start with something new. Just wash the board, restart.
Yeah. I love that. So let me hold on a second. There we go. Okay, so I do think that people do still watch the Star Wars film. Like, I think Star Wars movies will forever be timeless, and I think the hate of the sequels has made people want to watch the old ones more. And definitely those last three, I think, get more love. Like, I think Revenge of the Sith is probably one of the most loved Star Wars movies of all time at this point. And I do think that like one of the issues with Star Wars lore, if you guys don't know, so there was this thing called like the EU, where it was like a like kind of like fan made content for Star Wars, I guess you could say, and it made Luke Skywalker just like OP. Like Luke Skywalker was basically God, bro. You know what I mean? And Disney kind of like disbanded the EU. So the way that lore works in Star Wars, right, is kind of being made up as you're going along. So now you're completely right. I mean, the whole entire Mortis God thing, the world between worlds, I mean, that was inspired between what they did in Narnia. And for you guys, we are all Narnia fans, so you guys understand what I'm trying to say. How the world between worlds is just like what Narnia has done. What?
Don't include me in that. We are not all Narnia fans.
You're not?
Don't.
Why are you not a Narnia fan?
I forgot. Dallas hates everything. But hold on. Before you go onto your tangents, let me just get my take off, bro. Okay. I do think that they did try to dedicate this era of Star Wars to reaching a new fan base, and it was females. You know what I mean? I mean, Kathy came out with the whole shirt saying the Force film. We got Rey. We have seen what the Acolyte did, and it just failed. And I think it fails because you're trying to be so targeted with your reach instead of just making good content. And I think that they need to. I think the key is you got to go back to what George created, right? Obviously, but you need to do it in a way that gives the future taste. And the hard part is that, like, for Marvel and DC, that's easy to do. Why? Because they have the comics. I mean, they have inspiration that they can take from. But if I'm creating the future of Star Wars, I got to pull it out of my butt crack, and it's just the truth. And the thing is, right, with Star Wars, you need a genius level creator. I'm talking like you need someone that is able to like really create something entirely new. And the kind of person you need is like someone on the same level of a Christopher Nolan, someone on the same level as a Steven Spielberg and those kind of guys, same level as a George Lucas. Like you need a complete genius to be able to read to be able to figure that out. And the question is, Dave had his chance with Ahsoka, but she's already established herself as a TV show character. You know what I mean? Like she's established herself as like, being the TV show character. So Dave's job, if he does take this role, is he has to figure out how do I make this like as great as what George did for the next saga. So basically, Dave has to be the next George Lucas. And the question is that like we've never seen a franchise have to do that, ever. Like and it's funny because I said I put this on a TikTok once, and some idiot said, "Well, we've seen Vin." They said, "Well, we've seen Vin do it with Fast and Furious." I said that is a terrible example.
Don't get me started with that.
So we have never seen someone do it on this scale. And that's the Herculean task that Dave is going to be charged with if he does become the president.
The thing about it is, like, me and you have talked about this, Stevie, is that Star Wars lore is genuinely, like, after like reading some of it, like after getting into some of it, Star Wars lore is genuinely just deep. It's genuinely just amazing. It's honestly, some of it's like genuinely terrifying. Like they could make a Star Wars horror movie.
Oh yeah, Abeloth by herself is scary. Like
they have Cthulhu like Lovecraftian gods that they have in Star Wars. I knew nothing about. Like if I just went off the movies, I would not even. You don't even like the movies. Don't even sniff the crack of Star Wars. Yeah. They don't even touch the surface. They don't scratch the surface at all. Like all we get in the movies is lightsabers, blasters, and politics.
We don't even get lightsabers anymore, bro.
we get blasters and politics and like a bunch of like real world themes shoved down our throats. No, Star Wars genuinely has depth. And like if the next creator for Star Wars can't reach that, then it's gonna fail again and again and again. Because lightsabers, blasters, and politics can only take you but so far.
Yeah, I mean it's like galactic Lord of the Rings type. I mean, like that's what Star Wars is supposed to be, like a galactic Lord of the Rings mixed with like Star Wars at its best is one of the best franchises and stories ever. You know what I mean? Like it really is. And as I said, Dallas, I really think like you need to find someone that is like you got to find the smartest guy. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know how to explain. I don't even know how to like. The only person I could see save it is Kevin Feige. That's the only person. And there were rumors back in the day that he was going to leave the MCU and go to Star Wars, but it's probably not going to happen now because he has the mutants. But like, you need somebody of that level who just knows the lore. And what I always thought they were going to do, I always thought that Dave and Jon Favreau were going to do it because I feel like Favreau started Iron Man. He would be the perfect guy to start this new era of Star Wars. But Dave putting all the lore behind it, kind of like what they did with Mandalorian. But we'll just have to see what happens. So, but bro, you are right though. Star Wars does have has very rich lore, and it's richer than Marvel and DC easily. It's just a shame, and I put their lore on the same level as like a Lord of the Rings. It's that good, but it's kind of a shame that they haven't found a way to put it together. But I think it's because Kathleen Kennedy is not a genius, and you need a genius to be able to run that company and to be able to make the lore work. James Gunn and Kevin Feige is a genius. Dude's a genius. He knows what to pull out. He knows what to keep in. So we'll see what happens. All right, now let's read some chats here. Example: Cobra Kai builds on the Karate Kid franchise, but you don't need the Karate Kid movies to understand Cobra Kai. But Cobra Kai still has Easter eggs and callbacks from the Karate Kid movies. Facts. The best way to reboot is a time skip that keeps the canon of all the movies. You can have Easter eggs, etc., but it's a new cast of characters with a new story and new world building. You see, and that's probably like they're probably going to go thousands of years into the future. I don't necessarily want that, but probably. Post Secret Wars, here's a perfect phase. Phase 1: Astonishing X-Men, Avengers Assemble, Spectacular Spider-Man, Wolverine vs. Hulk, Fantastic Four into the negative zone, Black Panther, King of Wakanda. Oh my gosh, bro, that'll be feeding families, bro. Black Panther, King of Wakanda, I would cry. Yes, agree. The team up trend is the way to go, and only give a handful of solo movies. Spider-Man, Black Panther, I agree. Like, you give your solo movies to the A-listers, that will do $1 billion. Avengers have Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Captain America, T'Challa, who are all their own heroes with their own side characters and villains. Name me one X-Men member that has that outside of Wolverine. None.
It's not about that, bro. It's about the characters. Like,
none of these characters outside
you're missing
of Wolverine.
the entire point.
None of these characters outside of Wolverine are solo characters. What is this you talking about? I have to hard disagree. Cyclops doesn't need a solo movie. It should be an X-Men movie with Cyclops as the main character, similar to Star-Lord in the Guardians movies. X-Men movies, Wolverine movies, and maybe a couple of Disney Plus shows. That's it. Yeah, man. I mean, I would like a Brotherhood movie, like a Magneto movie, like where we get to see him form the freaking Brotherhood would be nuts, bro. Like that'd be crazy, but yeah like good. Magneto, that's a character you can do. Like if we had a movie with like Magneto, Wanda, Quicksilver, and his side of Marvel, where like he's kind of like building his own situation, that would be fire. That'll be fire. All right, let's get to the next topic here. Okay, so X-Men. So the X-Men trailer for Avengers Doomsday finally dropped. Obviously we saw the leaked one, but you guys watched the 4K one, right?
Yeah.
So how did you like this trailer?
It was really good. I mean, we already saw most of it. It was just blurry, but like the 4K made Cyclops optic blast look way better. I'm not gonna lie. When you texted me earlier saying that you were crying watching it, bro, I looked back, I rewatched it, and like I literally I put it in like 0.25 speed so I can like watch it like clearly. But like I literally told Stevie earlier, like I was literally meeting with somebody and I literally said, "Hold on, the trailer just dropped." And I watched the trailer right in front of him, and I was like, "All right, we can continue." Like, bro, it was. I'm really excited for the X-Men to be in it because we've been waiting for the X-Men to be in the MCU, and I mean, just gives a hype that the next trailer is not going to give us. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like geek out and goon over some dude shooting optic blast from his eyeballs. I don't know where all this glaze is coming from. Like to be in the middle of a meeting and to stop the meeting and it just to watch it, like, gee, like, dude, like, get a life. Anyway, yeah, it was fine. I mean, like,
Outrage
y'all
me.
y'all be on some different type time with this. Like, there's no need for all that. It's just all he's doing is like screaming at the sky and shooting like optic blasts. Like, oh my goodness, we got nothing from this. We just got a voiceover, two people playing chess, and a dude shooting optic blast. That was corny. Like, ew. Now I don't want trailers that spoil every single good part of the movie because I can't stand trailers like that. But at the same time, like all they're doing is just edging us at this point. It's not even fun. Like it's just like, bro, like this was like the most pointless trailer I've seen in a while. Like these are like honestly, pretty much every single one except for a few have been like pointless trailers. Like they're just showing us, oh yeah, look, this looks cool. Like I'm expecting it to look cool. You're putting all this money into it and you're hyping it up. Yeah, I expect it to look a certain way. Show me something different. Cheesy, corny, overplayed. Y'all are just glazing the absolute living mess out of it. It's not even funny. Like,
bro,
seriously, like a couple of losers.
Bro, it's a teaser. What are you going to expect from that?
It's not even teasing, bro. It's just showing me the visuals. Like, I get it.
It's literally teasing
great
us
visuals.
Cyclops' optic blast are going to look like. Like you want like a full on trailer? Like
you're really
No,
a
I
hater.
don't
I ain't gonna
wanna-
lie. No. You
They're
don't
just
know
teasing
how
me
to
what
kill
his
the
optic
vibe, man.
blast look like. I expect his optic blast to look good. Why are they teasing that? Tease something important. Tease something
Because
cool.
it's the
Tease something
symbolism,
that's
bro.
vital.
It's the symbolism. Bro.
It's the symbolism.
It's the symbolism that Cyclops has been done dirty all of these years, and we finally get a Cyclops with a comic accurate suit doing comic accurate things, not being a freaking crybaby over Jean Grey's cheeks. That's why it matters, bro.
Who wouldn't be a crybaby over Jean Grey's cheeks? Have you seen? I would cry
Yeah, but
over
all
her.
right.
He's already had her, bro.
Realistic Cyclops.
That has literally been his girl the whole entire time. He doesn't have to cry about her 24/7, bro. That's why, bro. That's why it matters,
you never
bro.
know. A genuine gold mine like her, like you never want to lose her, man. You never want to lose her, man. She's everything.
And also,
Holy cow.
all number one, these are teasers, which means that like a teaser is just giving you a tease. So we should be the word that you said. I'm not gonna say that, but first trailer was Captain America having his child, showing us what he's been doing post Avengers Endgame. Cool. Thor, we see what's been going on with him throughout the movie, but also we see that this dude is stressed out, asking for the strength of the Allfathers, hinting that Thor is about to become either his most powerful or he's going to lose his power. Then we get this third one where we actually get to see some motion, where Cyclops is kind of crashing out, shooting out all of his optic blasts. We see Professor X and Magneto playing chess together. We see a jacked up X-Men mansion, and then we get a crazy, beautiful Magneto just talking about, basically saying we're finna die. You know what I mean? So I mean, there's definitely stuff in it, but that's the point of a teaser, is to get people excited. Also, bro, we have a whole 12, 11 months until we see this movie. So I'm pretty sure we're getting a trailer for the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, that's what they rumored.
Yo,
but like a Spider-Man and Doomsday trailer coming out on the same day would not be ideal.
I wish, bro. That'd be crazy.
But like it would break the internet, but like I think it would put Spider-Man like in the dust, low-key.
Question for y'all: should I stream right after the trailer goes? Right after the trailer drops during the Super Bowl? Let me know.
Nobody's gonna watch that stream.
It's not true, bro.
Super Bowl's more
Dang,
important.
no friends,
Bro. Honestly, bro, I've seen the Den of Nerds and some other guys do it, bro. They get some of their highest view days.
You're not the Den of Nerds, bro.
Exactly.
You're Stephen Heyman. Like you're not them, bro.
I'm something better. Rage me.
Crazy glaze. Self-glaze.
Yeah,
Yo,
like,
no.
You're nobody's agreeing with you, bro. Like it's just
The sad thing.
The
The sad thing is that like this channel is gonna blow up, and like they're gonna see all these clips and think you're like the douchiest person on planet Earth. You're legit gonna get canceled. Kick him off the show. Like, bro, someone that we know is probably compiling all of these clips and just gonna release them, bro.
Bro, I was just thinking about that.
Everyone
we can make a
show that guy.
we can make a compilation of like 20 minutes probably of Dallas just gooning over different like girls like in fantasy, bro.
Yeah, and hating, bro.
Bro.
Yo, guys, should we make a Dallas compilation of him saying Miles Morales for 2 hours?
Okay.
Just let it loop.
Okay. Okay.
They're like Mr. Beast with what was it, Logan Paul?
Yeah, bro. Just let it loop for 2 hours. Okay, let's see. The next trailer is the Wakandan trailer with T'Challa, absolute garbage. It's a teaser. What does he expect? All these teasers were never meant to show the plot or anything. And the funniest part is it's working. Look at all the hype Marvel is having with these. Exactly, bro. Bro, he sounds like the type to be like, "What's the big deal? They only show 5 seconds of T'Challa in the teaser." Yes, 100% of compilation. I bet.
No, if they show T'Challa, bro, I'm gooning, bro.
Yeah, well,
Whoa.
the next, no, I am too. Well, but the next trailer is apparently like Shuri and M'Baku walk in to talk to Oh wait, that is our next topic anyway.
Yeah.
While we're here, so while we're here, right? Let's talk about this. So for Black Panther, what?
Who is that?
Yo, Stevie definitely tried to AI this, and he tried to put himself.
I got this off of Pinterest, bro. This is made by comic. Look, the artist name
you
is.
tried to AI yourself into it, bro.
No, the artist name is under this. You not see the artist name under this, you dummies. The artist name is under that. Look. Since y'all be trying to play me for hold up.
Bro, this is like the same time, bro.
Look at that.
This is like when he tried to call himself
Aaron Pierre. The artist name is right there, bro. Y'all be trying to play me for real, bro.
When he really just Anthony Mackie.
I look just like Michael B, bro. Stop playing me. Anyways, before, bro, you look like Cody Ford. You probably don't even know who he is, bro. Anyways, so
Cody Ford is crazy. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm an NFL player if that's the case.
Yo, Dallas. Tell me this don't look like him, bro. Hold on. Tell me this don't look like Bull. Carter, you ugly for right now. I'm thinking about it. Hold on.
Yo, don't
straight
chips,
me, bro.
You were talking. Bro, where that haircut?
Take the beanie off. Take the beanie off.
Where that haircut at?
Take the beanie off.
My hair not nappy, yo.
Hold on, yo, Dallas. Tell me this don't look like Tell me this don't look like Carter, bro. Yo, tell me this don't look like Bull. Thought I end up with Sean, but it wasn't a match.
No, that's all right.
I'm not gonna lie, Carter. That's your father, bro.
Bro,
no, that's all right.
Hey, yo, he your uncle, bro.
That's all right.
That's why he loves. That's why you love Joe so much, Glazer. Okay. Anyways,
I'm not even a Glazer. Don't compare me to Brendan.
Yeah, you are a Glazer. Joe Burrow. Anyways, so we saw a Avengers Doomsday teaser got leaked it was already in theaters of Shuri and M'Baku going to meet with Namor. And so Shuri said something very interesting. I need to pull it up what Shuri said. But do you guys think that T'Challa is going to be in this movie?
I hope. Like, that's all you can do at this point. You can just hope that he's in the movie. But like, I also don't think, like, if he's not in the movie, like, I'm not going to like straight up just like say like, oh no, Marvel sucks. Like, I don't think like him not being in the movie is going to mean that much. Granted, I wish he was, but like at the same time, like how are they going to incorporate it in it? I guess like they would have to do a multiverse type thing.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it could either way. Like, I'm going to be happy if he's in it, but I'm not going to be upset if he's not. Like, just bring him in at that point into what's it called? Into the next saga. It would be nice if it was a Secret Wars, but bring him into the next saga.
You know what? It'd be interesting if every single group made their own disastrous decision and broke the multiverse in their own way. So, like with Peter Parker, he messed stuff up. Captain America, he messed stuff up for the Avengers, right? What would be the Wakandans' mess up? Going back to get a new T'Challa.
And you and I have the same theory.
And I think T'Challa is going to be in this movie. I think Shuri's going to break the multiverse to get him. And like, I just don't see how, like, you look at the Black Panther and the trajectory as to where it's going. Everybody has to know Shuri is not it. Shuri's not the future. And so you have to get like well, this is gonna sound crazy. You got to get somebody to come in and play a real Black Panther, you know. And don't nobody take this the wrong way and try to clip me and try to say that I'm like sexist or something. Like, nah, yeah, it's just Shuri sucks. Like, she's not Black Panther, right?
Thanks
She
for
was
being
Put her
better.
back in the lab.
Put her back in the lab. Ooh, I don't like the way that sounds. But she was better in the lab. So yeah, bring a new T'Challa back, and I think that's the only thing that makes sense.
I agree. You and I have the same theory. I just think that like Shuri's too smart to not go and toy with the multiverse and peek around at other, timelines and herbs with T'Challa in it. And I think she's gonna pull him. I do. I also think that see, in Black Panther, I enjoy the stories where Shuri and T'Challa are both Black Panther, because Shuri gets to handle like the politics, while T'Challa's like the savage. You know what I mean? So that's what I want. I want them both to be the Black Panther, but Shuri's more of like in the lab handling the politics of Wakanda, while T'Challa's kind of crashing out and trying to kill everybody. And that's where I think that's what it comes off as with the setup. So here's what Shuri said. And she said, "I've lost everyone that matters to me. A king has his duties to prepare our people for the afterlife, and I have mine." The question I have is the king she talking about Namor, or is she talking about somebody else?
Maybe M'Baku?
No, has to be T'Challa. That's what I think. But she might be talking to Namor, because in the trailer they're meeting each other. But I think that we are seeing like Shuri become the political person for Wakanda, and I think that's a smart thing to do, because it's going to allow T'Challa to be able to like do his own thing in Black Panther, So,
I mean, do you think the trailer's like a beginning, middle, or end part of the movie? Like, do you think
definitely. It's definitely mid movie, because the Thing is in it. It's like the Thing walking up to Namor with M'Baku and Shuri.
Wait, the Thing?
Yeah. For the Fantastic Four.
What's he doing in there?
Well, remember,
You're asking the right questions.
Well, remember at the end of the Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four popped up in the MCU, so they multiverse traveled, which means that they're working with the Avengers and Wakanda and everybody.
Yeah, but like, why is this Thing in Wakanda?
But like, hold on.
If they were to send anybody to be like a diplomat, it would be Kirby, or whatever. What's her name? It wouldn't be the Thing. He's not a diplomat.
Yeah, but what if? But what if they're busy doing other things, like handling Dr. Doom? Like
scientist work?
No, like what if the Fantastic Four is separated? So what if like Human Torch is with the Thunderbolts, Reed and Sue are with maybe Tony Stark and Cap and Thor and all of them, the main characters, and then what I mean? Like, what if they're all separated?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's
like
one.
Reed and Sue could be in the TVA for all we know. We don't know where they're at. You know what I mean? Like they could be separated. I like it though, having separate teams for people in the Fantastic Four kind of being separated. I like that idea. Another quick theory that has nothing to do with this topic. Do you guys think that Pepper Potts and Stark like Industries could be funding Sam's Avengers?
I mean, I hope not. I hope they defund them.
I mean,
because he bought the trademark to the Avengers name. There's no way that's cheap.
Probably not. But I don't. He probably just had to buy it off of her.
She's rumored to be in the movie, so I'm thinking that she's like funding Sam's Avengers.
I really hope not, to be honest with you.
It would make sense. He's broke.
Like, I mean, it would make sense, but like, he also has the government help too. Like, he has government help to like help him like fund.
Bella, if you are watching this, bro, when I see you, we gonna throw hands. You saying I look like Steve Urkel? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Hey, she gotta defend.
That's strike one. All right, now let's I think Pepper Potts is funding Sam and his Avengers. There's no other person that would do it, bro. That has money. Okay, if Marvel don't put T'Challa, and there was no point in adding Shuri in the Wakandas. At that point, Marvel is purposely trying to piss off the fandom. Yeah, true. I thought Dallas loved woman though. Actually, he doesn't. The entire MCU Wakandan cast got to go.
Whoa. Whoa.
But the entire MCU Wakandan cast got to go post Secret Wars. They are all way too attached to Chadwick, and sensitive fans are going to constantly compare the new T'Challa to the old T'Challa since it's the same cast. I don't agree. I think that if you have Damson Idris, it'll work. She literally held his hand. The person that played Queen, Ramonda, legit held his hand at the fashion show. They're ready, bro. MCU no more is trash. L take, bro. Come on, dog. Come on, man. Come on.
Terrible take.
Okay, Talokan did suck. Like when you went underwater, it was mad dark. I will say, but Namor shined in Wakanda Forever. He's probably one of the only shining lights in Wakanda Forever. By the way, I'm not gonna crash up my shirt right now. I'm gonna do that in another day. Okay. Now, next topic here, Mobius, Mr. Mobius from the Loki show. He is returning into Avengers Doomsday. Now, for the people that have seen Loki, Carter, you've seen the show. Dallas, did you watch this?
I watched season 1.
Yo, Carter, guys, we should watch season 2 for our hangout on Sundays. I ain't gonna lie. But anyways, so question. So
John Wick got scrapped.
Yeah, I fell asleep. Okay, so yeah, I forgot how bad of a film.
I watched the first 2 by myself after I left.
Good boy.
So Carter,
All right,
question. How do you think Mobius fits into Avengers Doomsday? Because we know that at the end of spoiler alert, at the end of Loki season 2, he retires, right, to go live his life with his 2 sons or whatever. How do you think he gets back in the fold? Do you think it's just we need all hands on deck, or
I mean, either all hands on deck, or I think he just gets pulled in without wanting to be there. It's kind of just one of those deals, just hey, we need you. I don't care what you say, but you are coming with us. More like a kidnapping situation, I would say, if anything else. I don't think it's going to be anything I don't think he's going to want to do it at all. Because, bro, yeah.
Yeah, my thought always was bro, probably not have a choice. The multiverse is just tearing apart. He's well, I have no choice but to join this thing. So you think he's going to do it he doesn't want to, but he's going to do it because he doesn't want the multiverse to fall apart? I think in the MCU right now, bro, no one has a choice. I really don't. I don't think anyone has a choice. The multiverse is breaking. Yeah. Now, question, and I'm going to tread lightly here. There were some Avengers Doomsday possible leaks that came out in regards to the plot. Do you guys want to go over that? Yes or no?
Sure.
Dallas?
No.
Okay.
Why would we do that?
Don't worry, Carter. We'll just do a separate video on it, and we'll just post it as its own. Plus, that'll probably be smarter because then people can click off. I don't think it's true. I just think it's fun to see what stuff is coming out. Okay, now,
yeah,
Stranger Things. Stranger Things had a season finale, and a lot of people were talking. Before we get into this, or not before we get to this, I want to know what you guys' reviews are of the Stranger Things finale. First, we're going to rank it out of 5. Carter, what is your number out of 5?
4.
Dallas?
1.
I'm going 5 out of 5.
Gee,
I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to rage you.
I was about to say it wasn't. It wasn't like that.
No. I'm going 4. I'm going 4 or 3.5. Just depends on the day. So Carter, why was the Stranger Things finale for you a 4 out of 5?
So I give it a 4 out of 5 because, for one, I think, granted, I will say it definitely didn't answer questions at the end of it, but I'm also not looking for the show to change my life. I am not looking for the show to be blow me out of the water. I'm looking at the show for just straight entertainment. And to be honest with you, this show was entertaining to watch. And the finale was pretty solid. And from a granted, there are some things that didn't make sense, I will say. I saw some tweet earlier today where it was just Dustin's bullies did more damage to him than the Mind Flayer did. And I was yo, that's actually kind of crazy though. But at the same time, if Lucas wasn't there to save him, the Mind Flayer would have did a lot more damage to Dustin than his bullies. So there was just there was the typical oh my gosh, I think someone's going to die. And then someone comes in and swoops in and saves them. Like, it was predictable in some ways. Like, the only thing that I would say, like, that didn't make it predictable was like we got to the finale and we were still waiting for like this like so-called big death that was supposed to happen. And if this big death that they were talking about was 8, then I'm not gonna lie, the Duffer Brothers need to be better at communicating to people. They need to go to like a speech therapy class or something, because like if that was the big death they were talking about, no one cared about that death. Now, at the end of the finale, at first I believed that 11 was still alive, but at the same time, now I was talking to some people about it, and it low-key wouldn't make sense if she was. It wouldn't make sense at all if she was alive still. Now I want her to be alive because that would be very cool, but like they also left the open ending, so we never were going to know if she's alive still or not. But I mean, overall finale, I think it was pretty solid. There was just some things that just didn't get answered. Like, I'm hoping with the spinoff they actually answered like the whole like rock inside the suitcase thing and all that. But I mean, we don't know. We don't know what could possibly happen with the spinoff. They're saying it could be this, saying it could be that. People are also saying that supposedly another episode is going to come out like tomorrow or like the day after that or something like that. Like, I don't know if people are just coping at this point just because the show's done or what, but like, I'm not going to lie. If the show's done at this point, just get over yourself. The show's over with. People are just upset right now just because the show's done. They just need to get over it. And people are going to say like in the next like 3 to 4 or 5 months that the finale was good, even though people are just hating on it right now. Like, so people just got to get over themselves.
The finale was not good. I don't know in what world, delusional world, that you live in. The finale was, it was like a toast sandwich with like nothing in between. I was eating dry bread. I felt like an English peasant. I mean, it was just it was so the Duffer Brothers' biggest problems throughout season 5 has been instead of the one of the first things you learn as a writer is show don't tell. And one of the biggest problems that the Duffer Brothers had in season 5 was telling and not showing. Right? They were 20 minutes of dialogue and then like 2 minutes of action. But instead, in the finale, they switched it, and instead they showed and they didn't tell. So much of it was just not explained, and then this absolutely just horrendous, like annoying, like theory that they did with Mike at the end. It's just like, oh, okay, so they want to keep things open just for the spinoff, and they want to make like they want to keep the door open. No, just tell us: is she dead or alive? Like, why are you playing games with us, right? And then that final fight, oh my goodness, the fight from the in Starcourt Mall was a 10 times better fight than this ending fight scene. This is the big culmination. We've been building up to this, where they finally go, they beat they go to the Mind Flayer's home turf and they beat it, and we get 4 minutes of Nancy absolutely trouncing it with a shotgun. A shotgun. That shotgun better have like magical powers or something. We better find out that shotgun is like inherited from the gods or something, because there is no way on God's green earth that shotgun was doing that much damage. Right? Dustin and Steve were stabbing it with literal knives on sticks, and they were beating it. Like, that was honestly so disappointing. It was a mediocre and blasé end to an absolutely amazing show. And the character arcs just... The Duffer Brothers are bad writers. And it felt like they didn't even write this last season. It felt like it was like AI generated. Like they were sitting in a lab and they're like, ChatGPT, give me some great plot twist for Stranger Things in season 5. And yeah, if Kali was the big death that they were leading up to, nobody cared. I don't think a singular person in the world cried for Kali. Not one. Nobody cared.
The wild thing to me is that I liked everything post Mind Flare battle more than the actual like battle itself. So like I love where everyone kind of is like ending up in the end, like I was like enjoying like how their world is now. And obviously Mike is like still depressed because he just lost his bae. You know what I mean? So obviously he's gonna be upset and all that. But like I really liked the ending as in like I really enjoyed the last half post Mind Flare battle. The Duffers to me, and I wasn't as plugged into Stranger Things, and so I am caught up. I did watch everything, but the Duffer Bros low key pulled a James Gunn, bro. Like they low key pulled a James Gunn, as in like they just talked so much, and based on like I guess like what based on the work that they did leading up to this season, they just didn't deliver in quality in writing. And what I think happened is it seems like someone else got involved. There's no way that this is what they crafted up, or they were just afraid to rise to the occasion, and but it just seems like there were different people writing and different ideas and different things. It was just what we saw just doesn't kind of line up. Like the way people acted and the way that people did things just didn't line up with what we've seen in the past seasons whatsoever. One of the biggest thing is more people should have died. There's no doubt about that. Like what is who almost fell off of the one John, but yeah, Steve should have died in that scene. I'm sorry, he should have been gone.
He should have died in that scene. But we don't want Steve to die. But
no, we don't want Steve to die.
No. I'm not saying that we don't want him, but if you're going to go that far, he has to go. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to go that far, you have to deliver. In Avengers Doomsday, no one thinks that Natasha, or in Avengers Endgame, no one thinks that Natasha is going to die, bro. You know what I mean? But that's what throws off the whole entire movie. Because someone that you thought that was going to be a key in the battle was not there. So like you gotta follow through on your deaths, bro. And even if somehow Steve came back resurrected, if they wanted to pull some BS like that, because the Duffers would have probably done that if Steve died. He would have came back at the end somehow alive and well, right? Like even if you did that, like at least let people experience the death and the sadness, or even if it's like the thought that he's dead and he comes back alive, something like that. You know what I mean? They didn't like dive into the actual, like they didn't take any chances, bro. And then the other thing that I was thinking of too is, right, so Dallas, I don't agree that like they had to close all of the plot holes, because I feel like if they did that, fans would have cried saying that is filler. But what I do wish they did was that like they should have made 11 the main focus. And to me, 11 took a back seat until the end. And that to me is what kind of ruined it for me. It's like, if you don't want to close a bunch of doors, then you have to be able to close like the main door, and you get to be able to make that door kind of a center and make like 11 be the center of everything. Because that to me is Stranger Things at its best, when like 11 is kind of the center point. And yeah, I wasn't really feeling I don't know. It's just like, it's like 11 was like non-existent until the end. Am I wrong in thinking that, or no?
No, you're not, because it was kind of just like Will just took over for like the majority of the season, and then 11
and Will isn't an interesting character to me. I'm sorry, like I mean, he's just not. I mean, like you could have chosen other characters to take that forefront, So yeah, but I do like when Will helped like 11 kill Vecna and all that. Well, Will kind of basically killed him, but like I thought all that was cool and very interesting. And so, and Carter, I think we talked about this. So were they able to shoot the Mind Flare with guns and flames because Vecna died? So the Mind Flare got weak. Is that the lore behind it? Like,
so the thing is that Vecna and the Mind Flare were together. Like they were basically one at this point. So the thing is that them killing Vecna, well, I guess you could say like L piercing Vecna with the whatever that was inside the Mind Flare, like that was what made the Mind Flare die. My thing is like, well, which I will say didn't make sense, because I'm like, Vecna didn't, like, if the Mind Flare is more powerful than Vecna, then like how was the Mind Flare affected by the flamethrower, but Vecna wasn't affected by the flamethrowers when he first came to Earth, when he got to what's it called? When he came to Hawkins the first time in season 5. I will say that doesn't make any sense, because in my opinion, I think Vecna didn't want to be with the Mind Flayer, but I think the Mind Flayer like really got to him, and Vecna just has a lot of trauma with the Mind Flayer, and it's just one of those things where just like he was just too scared to Mind Flayer to even get away from it. But like at the same time, like that didn't make sense, but also like there was like, yeah, basically Vecna getting pierced in the heart for something from the Mind Flayer is the reason why the Mind Flayer ended up dying.
Yeah, I think that
didn't make any sense. Like the way they killed and they do talk about how he is detrimental to the vines. They do mention that in the lab when Hopper is fighting against whatever the military captain, whatever her name is. But still, then that would mean Vecna and the Mind Flayer should have like similar like weaknesses. And like even if the Mind Flayer isn't good against heat, a thing of that size, like that monstrosity, to be affected by some blooms and some little bloom bombs, a shotgun and a flamethrower, and some knife spears, that's just terrible.
it's literally like a
There's
video
no
game.
stakes.
It's literally like a video game.
There's
like,
more
it's corny.
stakes in video games.
Yeah,
Which
sorry, go.
Well, no, keep going, because I was going to go a little bit off topic.
Oh no, I was going to say like I also think the final battle was just corny. Like corny, not horny, corny. But I feel like even with 11 and Vecna's battle, it wasn't spiritual enough for me. Like this battle should have honored the years that they've had at going at each other. You know what I mean? And I was expecting like did you guys watch Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yeah.
The way that I view Vecna and 11's relationship was like Azula and Zuko. Is that a good way to make of that or no?
Yeah.
So if you guys watch Avatar, when Azula and Zuko fight, it's like the most spiritual battle, probably one of the best one-on-one battles, other than Duel of the Fates with Anakin and Obi, or not Duel of the Fates, but sorry, Duel of the Fates is Qui-Gon, but it is almost as good as the Revenge of the Sith battle with Obi-Wan and Anakin, and like 11 and Vecna's battle just wasn't like, it didn't move me, it didn't. Like, do you guys feel the same way? Like, did it feel too fast, or is it only me?
It kind of
It was
reminded
definitely
me
too
of like
fast.
it reminded me of like Fantastic Four a little bit. Like we had this huge build up for a big villain, just for the villain to get killed in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, like remember in Daredevil when he finally beats Kingpin and he gets on his knees and yells in his face and says, "I beat you."
Yeah,
that's what I wanted. Like, and y'all have seen that, right?
Yeah.
Wait, Dallas, have you watched that show? Daredevil season 1?
Part of it. I didn't get to that part.
So like he gets on his knees and you could tell he's just like letting his emotions out. He's like, all these years of you torturing me, I finally beat you. I finally won. Like, you're finally gone. That's what I was expecting from 11, of this of her seeing the stress of this thing that's been holding her down all her life finally goes away. Like, that's what I was expecting, bro. And so that final, and that's why I said it feels to me like the Duffers cared more about the ending after post Mind Flayer, because everything to me post Mind Flayer was perfect. Like, I'm talking in writing, as in where they want to place the characters and the future. It was darn near perfect. But everything pre that was like kind of trash.
Well, think about it. Will's big revelation scene took longer than the final fight between the Mind Flayer and the kids, and it's just really, really bad. And then the way that Will affects that final fight, like, there's no way he has that much control over his powers in that amount of time. And Elle has been with her powers her entire life, and she is just now, season 5, getting full control over her powers. Like, that to me just makes absolutely zero sense.
I mean, I'm honestly not mad at that because I saw Aang do it, so that's totally fine.
Okay, totally different show, bro.
No,
Will.
but
we're talking about Will.
no,
We're talking about Will, crybaby Will, who spins or who gets nauseous over goosebumps on his neck. We're talking about Will, like mentally the weakest character here.
are you no?
Like,
But you just no, but nobody,
who has done nothing.
But you said 11, right? I'm sorry.
No,
I think I missed
he said
what you said. I'm sorry.
Like I do understand what you're saying because it's like to a certain extent, like we're talking about the same dude that literally cries. Like,
wait, what did he
halfway
say?
through
I'm
every
sorry.
episode because
I'm saying Will should not have, like, Will having the same amount, like Will having that amount of control over his powers to affect the final fight.
Oh yeah,
the way
it's
he
terrible.
did,
It's
makes
it's terrible.
zero sense.
I'm telling you, bro.
Terrible
They
way.
wanted to rush through the ending. I'm telling you, they wanted to rush through the ending.
It was, and it
what
honestly,
it's
it
giving.
was they did us a disservice. They did us wrong, and they need to apologize.
okay, all right. Now I do have a question for y'all. I mean, maybe y'all know, but like, where did Dr. K go? Did she not get like any like? Did she not get dishonorably discharged for what she was doing?
No.
Like, why didn't Nancy like? Why did nothing happen to her? She literally killed military people. Like, oh, I'm not gonna lie. I saw someone gave like 90 something questions. I am very curious, like, as to like what happened. Like, why didn't Nancy get like any like?
Okay,
Why did she not
here's
get
the
any
answer.
felony, like, or
Here's the
anything?
answer. It says in Stranger Things, Dr. K survives but gives up her mission after 11's sacrifice, realizing the futility of replacing one government weed with another. She is left alive, potentially pursuing her quest for power, as creators intended her to represent the ongoing, replaceable nature of such figures, not a personal death.
That was actually a terrible answer. First of all, what do you mean there's no purpose in replacing her? She broke the world.
Yeah.
If you can get that kind of power under your control, then you break the world. Like, what do you mean there's
Yep.
no purpose? There's obviously a purpose. Number two, I think the easier answer is that Kay was doing what Kay was doing was unsanctioned, so she can't bring Nancy to trial because she herself would then be brought under fire. But that is a very interesting point because not only did Nancy kill government soldiers, Hopper committed war crimes. Like,
Yeah, legit.
actual war crimes.
Like, no, Hopper is a terrorist. Hopper's a terrorist, bro.
Yo, he was torturing the dude for information. Like, Hopper was on some slimy type time in season 5. So, like, it really does. It kind of makes sense that Dr. K had to just drop the issue and move on because she has no ground on which to stand on because she was doing illegal things herself. But for them to say that, like, because there would have been no point. Like, that's dumb. Yeah, there would have definitely been a point. If she could have found a way to replicate the experiments, she would have had like an insane power source on her hands.
Yeah.
Are we gonna vote Hopper as one of the biggest crash outs in season 5 of all time?
Hopper was an idiot in season 5. They really ruined his character.
He was kind of crashing out the whole season.
Like, they made him stupid. They made him really dumb. Like, it was insult. Like, the Hopper that we knew always had a handle on things, even if it felt like he did. The Hopper that we knew was always ready to make the big decision, always ready to make the big sacrifice. It felt like he was getting outplayed by Will. Like, he was getting smarted by like Steve. Like, he was genuinely a non-factor in that entire. Like, he was getting outshot by Nancy, outsmarted by Steve. He was getting outplayed by Kali. Like, genuinely, the entire show, he was just getting like, what's the way? He was just genuinely just getting like disrespected. Nobody non-factor in season 5.
Now I will say, in the middle of it, like of the show, I like genuinely, my heart dropped when I thought he killed 11.
That was cool. They should have kept that.
If they would have kept that, that would have been a big death.
Yeah.
That would have been
huge.
And the way they would have done it, because Hopper would have offed himself after the fight.
He probably would have
100%.
And that means 8's gone.
So who else would have been a crazy death? Mike?
Dude, I never liked Mike as a character.
If you kill 11, you can't kill Mike. It wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I would say
Nancy would have been a great death.
She
And
would
Robin.
have. Her, Robin, and Steve would probably be.
If the older kids had died to make way for the younger generation, like to like
That
free
would've been on
Hawkins, so
fire.
to speak, that would have been a great like.
Yeah, and there was a
And
while where
we-
everybody thought that. Sorry, and there's a while where everybody thought that like I thought Dustin was cooked too for a second, but then like the light kind of shined off of him. But
yeah,
so
They
yeah,
can't kill Eddie and Dustin. Like
yeah,
Hellfire
Well,
has to live in somehow.
I think it would have been poetic, but you know whatever. But but I mean, but as I said, I think the Duffers focus more on the ending, but the way that they ended it, look, I mean, and I have a theory on Eleven's death. Like my theory was not that she's alive, but the reason why they feel her presence is because she kind of rewrote the Upside Down, so it does so like she's a part of the world. Her presence is a part of the world now, so they'll always feel her presence there. But she's still alive because they're going to bring them all back in 10 years to make more money. I'm telling you. So we can say whatever we want. She's coming back, bro. Like, there's no way they're not going to revisit this story in the next decade or two.
I will say the ending scene where the ending part where they're at the graduation, the girls invite them to the party, bro. I wanted to smack Mike into the next generation, bro.
Yeah, fumble
Like,
it.
bro was so mad that he couldn't get his girl that he decided to block every other opportunity for all of them. Oh,
and now he's an author.
Where was Dustin's girlfriend? The entire season 5.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. Let's see.
And also, how did Max graduate?
Yeah, they explained that in the cave, she since she had nothing better to do with her time, all she did was just focus on her studies.
That's so.
Bro, I don't care.
Okay, here we go. In the final season of Stranger Things, Dustin's girlfriend Susie does not appear on screen and is never talked about. Her absence and the status of their relationship were clarified through finale events and actor interviewed. Basically, it was a implied on-screen breakup because Dustin was depressed after Eddie died, so he dumped her off screen.
That's another problem with Stranger Things season 5. Too many things are explained in actor interviews and off screen. When you could just show us a scene of Dustin looking at something that reminded him of Susie, his face changing. And then we can imply. You don't even need to give us a 10-minute explanation or a 10-minute dialogue of Dustin talking to the group and talking about because that's another problem that he did. But you could just show us Dustin looking at a thing that reminded him of Susie and his face changing, and we could tell, okay, Dustin must have broken up with Susie. Instead of us having to find out through looking at ChatGPT. Which we probably just did.
I'm looking at Google AI mode. Relax. All right.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. Okay. Next question here. What is next for it? So the actor that plays Mike, he was in the It movies. He said he's making a comeback. Obviously, they're working on something behind the scenes. The question that I want to ask you guys is: do you think after this next season they're going to do another It movie? Because the rumor that is going around is that Pennywise is going to kind of win next season, and that history is going to be changed. So we're going to get like a young adult movie with the kids that were in It 1 instead of what we saw in It 2. Could you guys see something like that happening? Like, or do you guys have a different idea of what you think Welcome to Derry could do for possibly a third It movie? Was it
you that I talked about this with It?
So you and I talked about this, and then a bunch of like content creators have been making up content talking about how like they dove deeper into how Pennywise is going to actually win next season and how it's going to rewrite history, which is and basically Mike's announcement is what now has people saying that okay, like Pennywise could possibly rewrite history, which brings in that same casting but as young adults, like that 21, 22, 23 age group.
So my only thing to like go against that is the fact that like they did say that they have 3 seasons total for Welcome to Derry. So I don't think it's going to be the second season. It's probably going to be in the third season. But I remember saying that to you. Like, I do think that he's going to win in the third season. And they're going to make a third movie at Chapter 3, and it's going to be them as young adults. Because we all know if Finn is going to be in an It Chapter 3 movie, the way he looks now, we cannot do like them 27 years later from It Chapter 2. Like, we have to do them. And it would make a lot more sense if it was them when they were like in between the 27 years. Like, put them like when they're a little bit younger than what they were in Chapter 2 and older than what they were in Chapter 1. Like, because it's like in their minds, they're like, okay, we can wait. We have 27 years until this happens again. But then now they're going to be surprised, and now they're going to have like maybe like what, like 10 years maybe, like since that happened. Like, get them like right before they go off to college. Like, because then we all know they're already there. Like, we all know like what they're doing. We know that they're not leaving anytime soon, and they have to face it head on at that point.
I think Pennywise eventually has to win, right? Because like, why are we going to keep watching these It movies and these It shows where he just continually loses to a bunch of kids because he's frolicking around in the fog? Like, eventually, him rage baiting and him trolling has to pay out. So it's either like I think what Carter said about it being in the last season makes sense, because then that would completely rewrite the universe and they could restart from there. So I think it makes more sense that he wins in the last season. But if they did do it in the second season, I mean, no, it just makes more sense that they do it in season 3. Carter, you just had a thought?
Wait, hold on. So you just what you just said just opened up like a bunch of different possibilities for me. So them like Pennywise winning in season 3 means that it opens up the universe for other things. You know what that also means? They also introduce The Shining into the It universe now. Like, they connected that now. We also have Pet Cemetery, which is believed to also be in the It universe. We can do multiple things in the It universe at this point, and if we keep it going, like you just said, we can get multiple other like horror TV shows built off of Stephen King's horror books and horror movies that they have put out about his books. Like, there can be maybe like a Misery like TV show. I don't know. Like, there's so many possibilities possibly that people can think of, and I don't know. I just nerded out for like a couple seconds, but
I mean, could Pennywise what if for season 2, like, because he loses in this, like, what if he's in like a different world?
What?
Different timeline,
like a multiverse type of thing.
Like, what if he's in like a different timeline with different character? Like, what if it's not him going back in time, but it's him going to another reality with like a different group of kids and beings? Now that he's trying to where did he go? You know what I mean? Like, who knows where he went? Because he technically was still in that plane when he got, not actual plane, but PLAIN. Like, he was still in that like spiritual plane or whatever when he when he got beat. So the question is like, where did Pennywise go? And that's what I think season 2 is going to answer. I don't necessarily like. I'm starting to get away from the thought that like he's going back in time to mess with these kids. It's just a little too predictable. I think Andy's going to do something weirder.
What that's predictable to you? A dude's rewriting time. How is that predictable?
What?
What about that's predictable? Like,
like he's just gonna go back in time even further. It's like, bro, like there has to be some weird.
It's already been
some weird
like,
twist.
But it's already been like put forward that is basically going to happen. Like, they're going to show us the events that's happened.
Yeah, I just think there's some weird twist to it though, bro. Something weird's going on. There's always something weird. But we'll have to see. But all right, y'all, we're gonna end the show here, man. We're not gonna talk about Dune. I really don't want to talk about Dune right now. We had a great time. Yeah, I'm yeah. We had a great time talking about movies and TV shows today. We hope you guys enjoyed the show, man. We have 765 people live right now, which is kind of insane. All from Twitter. But hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll be back next week with more stuff. We're going live on Tuesday, giving our predictions for the MCU and all these other projects coming out this year. Please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell, and you'll see clips coming out tomorrow. Peace out, y'all.
See ya.